Zion Williamson. He's currently plus 25,000 to win MVP on the FanDuel Sportsbook. So get those odds in, get your bets in early when the with the fact that the blueprint Indiana, that's how they got to the finals. That's what Houston is in the process of doing, trying to refine themselves. You know, it's what the Knicks did. It's the Pelicans are in a position in this draft where they have to choose between rebuilding and winning. And they have been caught between those two windows. There's the Zion Williamson window, and then there's the Jeremiah Fears, Derek Queen window. And eventually those windows begin to compete with each other. One of those says win right now. One of those says we need to grow together. One says we need to add veterans. The other one says remain patient and find pieces. And at some point, your front office has to decide what it is that they are maximizing. Because when I think about the Pelicans, I see a team that has some of the ingredients that are necessary for ultimate success in the NBA. But those ingredients aren't enough. The NBA is full of talented teams and is full of talented players. The best organizations identify their core and spend those years making it better. And that's what this draft is really about for the New Orleans Pelicans and everybody else. Have the Pelicans finally learned that patience is a strategy? And I think we want to start right now is just talk about tonight's current situation for the New Orleans Pelicans. Currently, they only have one draft pick. That's number 58 in the second round. And that's the current cost of last year's Derek Queen trade. The front office, of course, has been reportedly trying to get back into the first round. There are reports that they want to go get as high as into the top 10. There may be spots available certainly after that. There are teams that they are talking with, and we will get into more of that in just a moment. The overall financial outlook for the Pelicans currently, they have about $224 million allocated on this season's cap for 2026-27. They're about $5 million below the tax and about $7.5 million below that first apron. The Pelicans are $20 million away from the second apron. That's not even a concern. This is not a cap space team, a team flush with the opportunity to just go sign and absorb some free agent deals. This is a development and trading team. That is where the Pelicans are. When you look at the current roster and you divide the players on this roster into categories, you're going to start with what I would consider the core players when you talk about the future. Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen, both on their rookie scale contracts. Then I think when you talk about Trey Murphy, I would consider him at this point, I'm calling him the universal fit. Not saying that Trey is the end-all be-all because we're going to discuss him individually, but he fits either timeline. If you want to build for the future, his skill set works with building for the future. If you are trying to win now, his skill set works if you're trying to build now. He doesn't fall in one or other camp. Zion Williamson, of course, is his own entity. And his future and what he's doing dominates the discussion about the Pelicans still. So you put him kind of in his own category. Yves Missi, young, still on his rookie deal, ready for an extension. The club option to extend him is due on their decision is due by October 31st. If they don't trade him, they will likely extend him and get the full range of his rookie contract. But until then, Yves is just a valuable piece on a rookie contract. If you properly value him, that $3.5 million you're paying Yves Missi is a really good deal. Then you have, of course, the trade candidates, the people who the Pelicans are actively trying to move, like Jordan Poole and his $34 million, like DeJounte Murray, who is extension eligible as of July 9th. Herb Jones, his extension kicks in not this season, but next season. Herb is getting $15 million in the last year of his current deal. You know his status, elite defensive player, but a significant offensive regression for Herb Jones over the last two seasons. Then, of course, Jordan Hawkins, the Pelicans, it doesn't seem they have any intention to extend him. He's going into the final year of his deal, getting paid a bit too much would be a salary ballast throw in at best at this stage for the Pelicans. And then you have Saddiq Bey, who is also eligible for an extension, only getting paid $6.4 million on the last year of his contract, one of the best values in the NBA going into this season. But is this his peak value? And should the Pelicans consider moving on from Saddiq as well? Certainly the Trey Murphy status has a lot to do with what will happen with Saddiq Bey. If Trey Murphy's gone, certainly you're more inclined to extend Saddiq Bey. And that value will be determined by what you get off of your salary cap in making those moves. Then you look at, obviously, Micah Peavy, a depth player at this point, not somebody you have to account for. If the Pelicans want to move him, there's no great tragedy there, only $2.1 million. And then Carlo Makovich, club option for him on June 29th. They're likely to pick that up unless he is also moved tonight or before that time. He is extension eligible next month. And then there's Kevon Looney, who has a club option that is due next week. And I think the Pelicans are likely to decline their club option on Kevon Looney. So the big question is, the Pelicans have pieces, but do they know which pieces are going to matter most? And I think we start with the one that is the most impactful tonight, the name that will change the direction of the Pelicans if he is moved, and that's Trey Murphy. The noise isn't going away. There are reports that Trey wants to move on at this point, and I can't blame him. If the Pelicans have been actively shopping you since last season, and you feel like now they have basically indicated to him that they don't see him as part of the future. They don't see him as a necessity for part of the future. That's the business of the NBA. But if you're Trey and you want to be actively involved now in your destination and make some demands about where you want to go, I know there are folks who will say, who is Trey Murphy to be demanding anything? Well, there's a certain amount of leverage that everybody can execute. And whatever leverage you have, you should use it. And Trey will use whatever his agents think that they can in order to sway the decision and make it best for him, as they should. The Pelicans are trying to do what's best for them. There are reports that connect Trey to Brooklyn, Atlanta, Golden State. There are a number of teams that are certainly Boston as well. And maybe, it feels like this trade is inevitable at this point. When we look at Trey, 26 years old, 6'8", 6'9", one of the best movement shooters in basketball, legitimate two-way player at his best, inside and outside, can finish at the rim and scores at a high clip without needing a lot of touches. Every team in the league, if you're the New Orleans Pelicans and you're getting rid of a Trey Murphy, there are 25 other teams that are looking for a Trey Murphy because there just aren't a lot of those dudes going around who are going to give you 20 points per game, who are going to shoot a high percentage, and who aren't going to need a lot of touches. And that's why the Pelicans shouldn't feel pressured to make the move, because the problem isn't going to be finding a trade partner. Like I said, there are plenty of teams that want Trey Murphy. The problem is finding a trade that makes sense. So when we look at the market and let's start with Brooklyn, just alphabetically, we'll go with Brooklyn. Brooklyn offers maybe the cleanest rebuild package, but that comes with a lot of questions. The Nets have picks. They have roster flexibility in having a lot of young players. They had 4 first-round picks last season, so a lot of young players. This is a team that doesn't have its direction itself. Just added Julius Randle. You don't know what kind of team that they're building necessarily in Brooklyn. But they don't have an obvious answer for you either. A player that you look at and you say, that's the guy we have to have. That doesn't exist anymore. Noah Clowney, intriguing, but he's still a projection type player. The draft picks are interesting, but those picks have to become players. You're not getting Trey Murphy back. You're not getting that combination of skills back if you make that deal. What you're getting is possibilities. And if you're trading him for those possibilities, again, you probably should pivot to a team that's building for the future. It's hard to say you're a win now team when you make that kind of trade with a team like Brooklyn, where mostly what you're getting is prospective players. Then you look at Golden State. Golden State's got plenty of interest. They have the 11th pick in the draft, but they don't have enough assets, in my opinion. When you're talking about the Warriors, they don't have a young centerpiece that you would look at in this deal and make it super attractive. Their draft capital isn't overwhelming, and the young talent that they do have, none of those players that you look at, would you think of them as a cornerstone type player? Maybe they can put together enough salary and picks and talent to make the Pelicans listen, but it seems like they're more likely to be a team that would require a third team to make this really interesting. I just don't see a player fit from the Golden State Warriors in dealing with the New Orleans Pelicans. When you talk about Atlanta at 8, I don't like making a deal with Atlanta at all. You just sent the Hawks the picks that became Derek Queen. Going back to them feels very wrong. Like the Hawks already have CJ McCollum. They've already got Dyson Daniels. And they both come back to burn you as far as the value that they've displayed for the Hawks. You want to go back and now give them Trey Murphy to pair with Jalen Johnson, a team that took the Knicks further than anybody else did in the playoffs at 6 games and pushed them, and you want to give them Trey Murphy. And what are you going to get back in return? Because if Jonathan Kuminga is the centerpiece of a trade with the Hawks, again, I don't see the fit. You're getting an undersized 3-4 who's not a shooter, whose handle is suspect, who wants the ball, who's best suited as a reserve, and you're putting him next to Zion Williamson and Derek Queen, and I don't see how he improves your spacing or your offensive structure. He's an okay defensive player, but I don't look at him as a guy that you have to have defensively on the wing. He's an okay rebounder, but I don't see him as a difference maker. And as the centerpiece of the trade, you are clearly giving up the best player in the deal. Saddiq Bey is also already on this roster. So when you add a Jonathan Kuminga, it feels like you're stepping on Saddiq Bey's minutes, who is, again, one of the better values in the entire NBA right now. What you don't need is another athlete who attacks the paint. You need spacing, decision-making, and shooting, and that's not Jonathan Kuminga. I think folks can talk themselves into Kuminga because he's had some moments and some flashes, but here you are. You are well into his career at this point, and he is what he is so far. He's a reserve. He's a talented reserve, but he's not, if we're talking about apples to apples, he's not the same player that Trey Murphy is. I think you can fall in love at times with upside while you let proven production walk out the door for your team, and I think that's a mistake. So I come back to the same answer when I think about Trey. And maybe the answer to the question is telling Trey Murphy, look, we get your concerns. We get that you don't want to be here anymore, but unless somebody makes an offer we can't refuse, we're not moving you. But unfortunately, it feels like that opportunity is gone now, that the bridge may be burned. Could they fix it? I think Trey is a professional player. If you don't make a move for him and he stays, I don't think he's going to sulk. But I think ultimately the die has been cast now. You're going to have to move him sooner rather than later because it just doesn't seem like this is a fit anymore between player and organization. Rebuilding is hard enough. Rebuilding after trading one of the few players on your roster that everybody wants without getting A, a better fit, or B, an overwhelming amount of future assets, that's not a great decision in my opinion. Jamal Mosley has signed a 5-year deal. Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen are entering year 2 of their careers. There's no need for the Pelicans to panic. There's no need to make moves just because the rest of the league is making moves. You don't trade Trey Murphy simply because you're restless. You trade Trey Murphy because the deal makes your team better. And right now, looking at Brooklyn or Golden State or Atlanta or even Boston with Jaylen Brown, I still think that there's so many reservations in those deals. I'm not convinced that any of those deals, as currently constructed, make the Pelicans better. And I think that that's the strongest argument, not to not make moves, but to make the right moves. And I think that the problem, too, is when you look at some of these assets, the Pelicans may have missed their best opportunity to move them. And we will discuss that a little bit more as well. Who could the Pelicans be targeting if they are moving up into the first round? I think you have to start with Ade Mara out of Michigan, the center. The positives there at 7'4", rim protection. He is also a solid shooter and very offensively skilled. Certainly gives you somebody to counteract the Zach Edey's, the Victor Wembanyama's, the Chet Holmgrens that you face pretty regularly. He gives you somebody in the middle to do that. The issue certainly is that his mobility could be something. Could you get into foul trouble playing against more agile centers, fleet-footed players? He didn't play a ton of minutes for Michigan last season, but a lot of that also, Michigan blew out a lot of teams. So certainly everybody coming from college to the NBA, there has to be an improvement in their conditioning. It is a much different world, and that happens. So you have to understand you're going to still need a veteran center to pair with an Ade Mara. But I think he has a high upside defensively, and certainly his offensive game extends not just from the paint, but out to the three-point line. So you can understand why you would want to move up. And he's been a prospect who has steadily risen over the last few weeks in the draft process. A couple of his Michigan teammates would also be, targets depending on where in the first round the Pelicans end up. If you end up outside of the top 10, then certainly you take a look at Yaxel Lindeberg, who comes into this as probably the most ready player in the front court, 23 years old. He was in the high school class with guys like Cade Cunningham. So he was in college a while, and it took him some time to really get into his game. It's been the last 3 years going back to, his game really progressing and becoming an elite type player. But what do you get with him? Again, if you're trying to win now, he's much more of a win now player. He is a solid rebounder, a good offensive game. He's mature. The things that you worry about, can he put the ball on the floor enough on the NBA level? What is his athletic ceiling? Has he pretty much peaked already? What you get as a player, how much improvement is there really for him at the NBA? But he could be a very easy fit for as far as plug and play. But again, he can't play center, and he's not really a power forward. And I don't know if his game is fluid enough to play the three. The other Michigan player, Morez Johnson, gives you motor, gives you rebounding, gives you energy, gives you defense. You wonder about the expansion of his offensive game and his size overall. He's 6'9", maybe 6'10", but you worry about overall, again, when you talk about a division with a lot of 7-footers, the Pelicans don't have a ton of 7-footers. But the other guys that you're looking at, certainly Nate Ament, his name has been closely linked to the Pelicans, the forward out of Tennessee. I am not a big Nate Ament fan. He is listed as somebody with a high ceiling and can be the prototypical 6'10" wing. I think people, you kind of look at him like an Ace Bailey type, but I don't see it. I think when you look, the big thing for me, and I wasn't huge on Ace Bailey last year, was Ace Bailey's shot creation and his shot decision-making were suspect. Not the talent as much, but with Ament, everything feels suspect. He's not a great rebounder. He got into foul trouble. He seemed to disappear at times. For somebody 6'10" over his last 11 games during the regular season at Tennessee, he shot at about 33% from the field, not from three, from the field at 6'10". So I think that's a very concerning number. I think Ament disappears a bit too much, and that's the last thing the Pelicans need is another player who you have to get up to play basketball games. This is a team that everybody keeps saying you need dogs. Nate Ament, if you watch him, doesn't come across as a dog. He doesn't come across as somebody who's going to be a leader for your team on either end of the floor. He's talented, but I think the wait to get the best out of him may not be worth it, especially in a setting like New Orleans. The New Orleans needs him to turn into a player sooner rather than later, and I don't know with his mindset if he's ready to do that. It seems that he's going to need time to mature and become much more of an effective player. Chris Sinak is another guy in that kind of mode who needs to develop. 6'9", 6'10", gives you length, shot blocking, mobility. You see the ability to expand his game. Had good rebounding numbers in limited time with Houston. If you play for Kelvin Sampson at Houston, you're going to come in with a defensive mindset. You're going to be a team player. You're going to be aggressive on both ends of the floor. So those things are high level for him. He's a very raw player. He also has New Orleans connections, having played at Newman High School. And then, being in Oklahoma, playing in the Big Ten, in Houston, playing the American Conference over there. But you don't draft physical attributes, you draft the player. If you are high on Chris Sinak, he certainly could be somebody you're interested in. But again, you talk about the value. I don't see Chris Sinak as being somebody that you would take at 11. Much more likely you take at the end of the teens or in the 20s as a guy with upside rather than a high first-round pick. So I think that those are the players that you're most looking at if the Pelicans trade in. I'm sure that there are other names, but there's been some, concern as to whether or not the Pelicans have invested enough time in meeting with these picks. There have been reports that they've had a lot of meetings with second rounders, and those have been posted online, but not a lot of these names in the first round. So I wonder how they've done their scouting when it comes to these players that they have targeted in the first round. Do they feel that they've done their groundwork already and that they've done enough research, either by going to these college campuses or seeing things there? I don't know. That remains to be seen, and certainly we'll find out in the draft. But right now, let's take this quick break and do this message from Terminix, the official pest controller of the New Orleans Pelicans. Here's that Terminix. Hold on. Hey, I think I lost the Terminix commercial. Where's the Terminix commercial? Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, here it is. I see it. Okay.
Terminix, the official pest control of the New Orleans Pelicans.
All right. Welcome back to the Post Up, this draft watch party edition. Propels Talk live from THEO'S in Metairie at 7 o'clock. The rest of the guys will be joining me. So please stay tuned for that. We'll have start to finish draft coverage, and we expect it to be an exciting and busy night for your New Orleans Pelicans. Let's look at the rest of the roster and the other moves that could happen, or what could happen with these players either tonight or the rest of the offseason. Herb Jones, it feels like the Pelicans missed their opportunity with Herb Jones to get the most for him. Again, I don't feel like Herb Jones' contract is an overwhelming negative. I get now that it's starting to become a luxury item when it kicks in, not this year, but the year after when it gets to the higher value. But Herb has slipped, and we have to acknowledge that. I think a lot of people have. He is still a very solid defensive player. Last year, for the majority of the season, he still won his minutes. He still was impactful by the numbers, but the offense has become a real problem. The regression is real. The shooting numbers, particularly, we're talking about a couple of years ago where Herb Jones was the best corner three shooter in the NBA, and that has not happened since. And that was really important. And last year, it just seemed like offensively, they couldn't find any real comfort level for him. So the idea that the Pelicans still want multiple first-round picks for Herb seems wrong at this stage. It feels like when that opportunity was there prior to the trade deadline last season, that was the time to take it. If somebody was offering you multiple first-rounders for Herb Jones, that's when you should have taken it. Your season wasn't going anywhere. That was as high a deal as I think you were going to get. And now when you look at the Pelicans, still believing that they can get multiple, it feels that they are undervaluing Trey Murphy and overvaluing Herb Jones. And again, I don't think Trey should be getting the world as a ransom, but comparatively speaking, if you're just getting into this, if you're getting one first rounder and some players for this draft instead of some real talent, and then you're holding out for two first rounders for Herb Jones, then I think you may be miscalculating here. DeJounte Murray has been connected to some deals. There was talk when there was rumors about the Pelicans being involved with Ja Morant. That seems to have quieted. But when you talk about DeJounte again, he doesn't fit the current timeline for the New Orleans Pelicans. He is extension eligible, but through the 2 seasons that you've had him, you've not gotten even half a season out of him in either case. So you're kind of disappointed in the production you've gotten. Is it better to ride it out with DeJounte for a little bit longer and not tie him to a deal for a player that you might not necessarily want just to get rid of him, considering that you would still have to find a veteran point guard to play alongside or play behind Jeremiah Fears if you give him the basketball? It is a very difficult situation when you think about that. Is he going to be part of a deal to go for a Jaylen Brown pursuit? Maybe. But what is DeJounte's future in New Orleans? It doesn't feel like there's a long future for him, no matter what the situation is. If he comes back, he's not a part of the long-term future. And if he's not, then yeah, he'll definitely be traded this offseason. Jordan Poole, we already know the deal there. If the Pelicans can give him away, they will. The problem is that he doesn't have much trade value at this point. There isn't a reason for teams to take Jordan Poole off of your hands. You're going to have to attach him to some assets. And to do that with a $30+ million asking price is a tall task. I don't know what you're going to do there with him. Jordan Hawkins, that extension remains one of the worst decisions that Joe Dumars has made. In that first year, there was no reason to extend Jordan Hawkins, and now you are forced to try to put him in deals to get rid of him. The only way he returns is if you can't get rid of him. Like that's just the deal at this point. If you can't get rid of him, he's under contract, you keep him, and he goes to the end of your bench and maybe plays occasionally. But there's no reason for teams to actively pursue a guy who can't shoot, can't defend, can't handle the basketball, and has been a disappointment as a first-round pick 3 years into his career. Saddiq Bey, you want to keep him. The price is perfect. You got the best season of his career. He's going into the last year of his contract at an extremely affordable deal. So to me, for if you're talking about Saddiq Bey, then the goal here is making sure that either he's your sixth man and you are giving him consistent minutes and shots as the sixth man for this team, or you are putting Saddiq Bey in position as your starting three because you've replaced Trey Murphy and you are seeing what you can get out of Saddiq for the next couple of seasons. But you need to define his role. He's either your starting three or he's your sixth man. I think those are the only two options for Saddiq, and that requires a good roster construction, because if you're starting him at the 4 again next season, you have not done your job in roster construction. Yves Missi, again, not an essential player, but a player you like to have. He's not expensive. He's going to do all the hustle things. You like his attitude. You like his contract. Yves is not a problem for the New Orleans Pelicans, but he's also not somebody that you have to have either. He's not an untouchable. So I think that's when you look at the rest of the roster, that's where you are. Carlo Makovic, again, you are about to probably pick up his option. You may extend Carlo. I'm not sure that they're in a rush to do that, considering he's still more fantasy than reality. So I think that the Pelicans, the rest of the circumstances are manageable for them at this stage. As you go into the second round and you talk about who are the players that the Pelicans may be targeting with their second round pick, there are guys like Alex Karaban, shooter, if you want that profile, high IQ player, a winning pedigree, could be an excellent fit off the bench to provide you with that Matt Ryan type role and knockdown shots. Felix Opara, a rim protector, rebounder, and it could fill your role for backup center if you trade Yves Missi. Sergio Delaria, one of those guys that you would store in Europe, not a right now prospect, but at 58, again, what are you talking about? You're either taking skill set or potential at 58, unless they pick up a higher pick in the second round. And then I think you got guys like Isaiah Nelson or Ugana Oyinso, who are both more developmental prospects and not players that you would expect to compete for a position on the opening night roster. One of the other things I want to look at before we go into the draft is how accurate were the Pelicans in their assessment of Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen a season ago. So the numbers kind of told us who these players were and how they compared to what we actually got. And I think in particular with Jeremiah Fears, they were dead on accurate. And I think there's something to be, that reflects that, hey, you've got exactly what you wanted to get out of this group. So Jeremiah Fears, 17 points per game in college, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. The questions about him entering the league, his shooting efficiency, the high amount of turnovers that he had. I think just the overall assessment of his rookie season would be the pressure defense that he could play. You thought of him as a guy who could potentially pick people up 94 feet. He showed some of that. The playmaking ability, we saw him be able to play make, particularly during the last 25 games of the season. The shooting concerns are kind of there, but they've flipped. They flipped from the three-point line to finishing at the rim, which is also not a surprise considering he's a smaller player making the transition to dealing with much bigger players at the rim. The turnovers were there, but they improved. I think by and large, he became what the numbers said he was. I think when you look at his advanced numbers and his counting numbers, field goal percentage at Oklahoma, 43%. His field goal percentage first year in the NBA, 43%. His three-point percentage at Oklahoma, 28%. With the Pelicans, 33%. So an uptick there that was pretty significant. Effective field goal shooting, not much difference overall. True shooting percentage was slightly higher at the college level, again, because of his inability to finish at the rim, which we expect to get better and which did get better as the season went along and he got stronger physically. And then you look at, his assist percentage was better with the Pelicans. His turnover percentage was better. His assist percentage was slightly down. Steals were slightly down, but his turnover percentage improved, even though his usage was down as well. So, but basically the profile for Jeremiah Fears, what you saw in college was what you got in the NBA. And I think that that's something that you need to pay attention to when you talk about a player like Nate Ament. And you look at his projections and you look at his production last season. He did not rebound well at his size. He did not shoot the ball well. So how will those numbers translate, particularly for a guy 6'10"? That's why you go switch over and look at Derek Queen, a guy who averaged 17 points, 9 rebounds in college, a high rebound rate. You saw the passing, you saw the touch around the rim coming out of college, the questions, his defense, his mobility, and his ability to space the floor as a shooter. The rookie year, the passing was better than expected. The touch around the rim was there. Some of the rebounding was there. Defense still remains a concern. His spacing and his shooting remain a concern. So again, by and large, the numbers weren't lying. You go look at those stats from college to the NBA. Were they consistent? He shot worse from the field going from college to the NBA, but again, expected. He's had to play against legitimate bigs who pushed him around a little bit, and he took shots from further away than he did overall at Maryland. The three-point percentage slightly higher than it was while at Maryland, about 26% last year for the Pelicans, 20% while at Maryland. True shooting percentage, again, higher in college than it was in the NBA. Not surprising there, but not a significant drop-off. The rebound percentage dropped from college to the NBA, but we saw Derek struggle to get rebounds out of his space. That really wasn't where his strength lied. Assist percentage was higher, significantly higher with the Pelicans than it was in college. He jumped from an 11.6 assist percentage while in college to almost 20% with the Pelicans. Block percentage, significant decrease. This is not a rim protector. We understand that, and we know that. His turnover percentage was better with the Pelicans than it was in college. His eye for passes, we know how good it is. And his usage was relatively the same. So for Derek Queen, you even get a much more accurate picture because his touches were relatively the same in his time with the Pelicans last year as they were with the University of Maryland as a college freshman. So I think that the numbers didn't lie overall. And the lesson that we get there is maybe we spend too much time on occasion trying to look past some of these numbers and trying to project onto players what they are. But we need to appreciate what they already are and understand what their skill sets currently are. The strengths can tend to translate. The weaknesses tend to show up. The stats were not perfect, but they did tell the truth overall about Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen. So tonight, if there is a favorite player that you are looking at, go check out those numbers. And not just the per game averages. Get deeper into those where do the shots come from? How do they perform against big teams? Do they make the easy shots? And I think those are important things as you develop the profile for these players and how they can potentially help the New Orleans Pelicans. There's not a ton much that I want to say left, but I do want to close on this. And I'll talk, obviously I have plenty to say when we do Propels Talk at the top of the hour. But what I want to say is this, and I want to be clear because I think a lot of times, and again, I don't feel like I have to defend myself. I mean, I've been doing this long enough. This is 25 years in sports broadcasting, but I want to be clear. Joe Dumars knows talent. I believe that. Troy Weaver knows talent. I believe they can both identify talented basketball players. That is not the issue when it comes to the New Orleans Pelicans. The question that has persisted throughout both of their careers as executives in the NBA is whether they know patience. Because sometimes the hardest move isn't the blockbuster. The hardest move is the move you don't make. And the Pelicans have some ingredients. Again, you have Jeremiah Fears. You have Derek Queen. You have Zion Williamson. You have Trey Murphy. You have your new coach in Jamal Mosley. You have Yves Missi. You have some flexibility. You have Sadiq Bey. You have some young talent. But you have to decide what it is that you are trying to make with these ingredients. You know, you can have all the stuff you want for great meals in your refrigerator, but if you got the wrong chef or you got the wrong recipes, you're going to make something bad that nobody wants to taste. So I think the Pelicans have to decide what it is that they are making as far as this basketball team goes. Are you rebuilding? I can get behind a rebuild. I absolutely can. I can get behind a rebuild. If you're trying to win now, okay, I'm not with you as much. I'll let you prove me wrong. But if you're going to win now, then take the path that makes sense in trying to win now. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that path is. But if you're going to do it, okay, we shall see. But decide. Don't keep doing this thing where you're trying to stay within two windows. Because the one that's closing is going to close. The Zion Williamson window is going to close. It closes for everybody. And it's already on the close. If you just look at the way the NBA works, he is approaching, this is year 8 for Zion. It is increasingly rare to see a player past that pick up their first title or make their first real run. Like, you know, Bam Adebayo got no championships, but he's got a final appearance already. You know what I'm saying? So your players, you have not even gotten a playoff series out of Zion, and we're going into year 8. That's just not common. Then you look at in the NBA, what do you see off the two? And I've talked about this, and there are episodes that y'all can go back and watch, where I talked about in the NBA currently, when do coaches win their championships? Typically, it's very quickly. But those are teams that are poised to win, right? Mike Brown gets to New York year 1. He wins. It wasn't that long for the changeover to happen for Oklahoma City. It wasn't that long for Mitch Johnson to get the San Antonio Spurs to the finals. It wasn't that long for Joe Mazzulla to get the Celtics to a championship. It wasn't that long. You know, it just, you look at the history of the NBA, or as of recently, these last 15 years or so, teams that make their changes with their coaches tend to win quickly if they're poised to win. The Pelicans are not in that case, so it's going to take a little time. It's going to take some time, and I think that the Pelicans could do it because the NBA has some very real challenges as far as the way that the power structure of the league is set up. The financial realities. The Knicks may not be together very long because of the financial realities. A number of free agents this offseason. Their owners already said they're not paying the tax. That's one team that doesn't have a long lifespan. You've already seen this major trade in how, you know, in Milwaukee sending Giannis to Miami. So Milwaukee's now out of the picture. Miami was already a playoff team. They may be better. We'll see what happens there. Boston is going through its identity crisis, trying to decide if they want Jaylen Brown. The Pelicans certainly may be part of that process. So the East alone is going through a lot of changes. The Sixers are about to move beyond the Joel Embiid era, whether it's this year or next. It's happening soon. So that's the top of the East is going through its own changes. Besides Detroit, no one is really poised for an easy future of trying to reshuffle their decks and stay competitive. You go to the West and you talk about the league about to expand in 2 seasons. What does that mean for the Pelicans? Number one, it means the Minnesota Timberwolves are likely the team going to the East. That takes a very good team with a top 10 player out of your conference. Okay. Then you talk on top of that, both expansion teams will be added to the Western Conference, Las Vegas and Seattle. You add those teams, you talk about an expansion draft that dilutes the talent in the NBA. You go look at the history of the NBA. Whenever there's an expansion, what happens typically? There's a huge inflation of win totals by teams at the top because they are getting to beat up on some teams that decimated their rosters and two teams that are likely in their first year will be lucky to win 20 games. So those are a lot of wins that get stacked up during an expansion year. So you talk about the Pelicans getting potentially a league that has a diluted talent level for a couple of seasons because of expansion, a diluted Western Conference because the Timberwolves move out, and the expensive nature of these elite teams. Oklahoma City will deal with some financial realities that are already making them make decisions. They're poised to handle them because of the amount of draft picks they have and the relative youth of their team, but they will have a challenge in dealing with that. Minnesota, who made this deal to get rid of Julius Randle specifically to deal with money, they still have an expensive team and they're looking for additional talent, but they will deal with the reality of paying Anthony Edwards more money, of paying some more of these players, around him more money. You talk about Denver. How much more can they put into that core of Jokic and Murray? And I think that they've already decided that they need to do something different there as well pretty soon. Jamal Murray is not the same guy that he's been in the past. His injuries have been a concern. So the West may be poised for a major shakeup. The Warriors are chasing the end of Steph Curry's career. The Spurs are still trying to figure some things out. There could be a real opportunity, not this year, not next year, but in 2 years for the Pelicans if they stay a conservative course while making the necessary moves to build up their roster, get young talent, get financially flexible. What could the Pelicans be in 2 years? So it's like, I think when people look at me and they say, well, you don't like anything that the Pelicans do. You don't like their moves. You don't trust the Pelicans. I look at history. I look at history. I look at the history of the NBA. I look at the history of this franchise. I look at the history of Joe Dumars. I look at the history of Troy Weaver, and I try to make my best assessment on that. And what I see is it's not that there's no path for the Pelicans to be good. It's that they keep walking past it. They keep staying on a road that leads to nowhere. And there have been plenty of off-ramps to get off the road to nowhere and get on the road to winning. And it doesn't matter who's been the executive or who's been the coach or who's been the franchise player. It has been nearly impossible for the franchise to focus on the road to winning because they've been too focused on the road to too many other things. How do we sell tickets? And how do we do? If you win, all these other problems go out of the window. If you build a consistent winner, you don't have to worry so much about making this connection to the community. You don't have to worry about, trying to cover up your PR misses. Winning solves all of that. You just saw that in New York. Knicks fans hate the owner. They hate James Dolan. They don't want anything to do with that guy. The best thing James Dolan did was get out of the way of two executives and let them make the decisions to build that team. Now they get some luck too. You're not going to get a lot of times where your franchise player takes a pay cut to sign his homies. That is rare. That's an advantage that the Pelicans don't have to operate with. But the consistency of all of the top organizations, Sam Presti in Oklahoma City, you look at what they're doing in San Antonio, you look at what they're doing in New York, you look at what they're doing in these places that have won as of late. They've stuck with their game plan and tinkered around the edges, right? Even when you look at a Cleveland and their ability to have the number one record in the East, to be a top 2-3 seed consistently. This year they were a 5 seed, but they've been consistent because they figured out, and they still are working around Donovan Mitchell, haven't gotten the ultimate prize, but they got their guy in Donovan Mitchell, their front court in Jared Allen and Mobley. And then they have worked in the backcourt and on the wings to find complementary pieces. It hasn't been perfect, but they've gotten a level of consistency winning-wise to continue to make those moves without them being financially unbearable. Those are reasonable goals for the New Orleans Pelicans. Cleveland is not a destination city. Detroit is not a destination city. No one cared about the Golden State Warriors until they got good. No one talked about the Minnesota Timberwolves until they got good. They had missed the playoffs for a decade and a half. It is not your city. It is not your arena. It is not these other external factors. The simple fact of the matter is people will show up People will care about your franchise, and you will be an impactful organization if you win. And winning can happen anywhere. Winning can happen anywhere. You just have to do the things necessary to win. And that has been the struggle for the New Orleans Pelicans. All right, y'all, before we go, a couple of announcements. Make sure if you are coming out to check out the live show here at THEO'S in Metairie, they're at $10 wings tonight. And if you go to our live stream and you comment THEO'S in the chat, you are up for a chance to win a $50 gift card from us at Boot Crew Media. So we appreciate you. We hope you come on down. Check us out. We got plenty of giveaways here. We got shirts. We got all kinds of stuff. And we're going to be back at 7 o'clock to get this draft cover started. It'll be me. It'll be Justin. It'll be Ross. Ross is showing up. Look, hey, Ross will be here. Lito will be in studio as well. And we'll get check-ins from Chris and Five from their home studios. So plenty for you tonight. Beginning at 7 p.m., complete coverage of the NBA draft, every rumor, every trade, every pick, because the draft isn't just about who the Pelicans select. It's about which direction they select as well. So thank y'all so much, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes.
Craving pizza like me? Theo's Pizza has you covered. Theo's has daily specials going on throughout the week. Enjoy half-price draft beers on Tuesday and half-off bottles of wines on Wednesdays. Perfect for a midweek treat. Free delivery right to your door for the big game. Visit us at theospizza.com and use code FREEDELIVERY for all online orders. Don't miss Theo's lunch specials either. Available Monday through Friday. Enjoy one topping small pizza for just $10.99 or choose any of our delicious sandwiches with chips and a drink for only $12.99. You can also find us at 5 convenient locations: Elmwood, Mid-City, Magazine Street, Metairie, and Covington. What are you waiting for? Order now and taste the difference at Theo's Pizza. Your perfect slice of happiness. This program is brought to you by FanDuel, where we give sports fans the chance to win every day.
Y'all muted, fellas.
And we're going to work through some technical stuff. You know, it's a live show, folks. So, you know, there's things that happen. But you got me, the OG, David Grubb. Got the God, Lito, over here. We got our man 5 representing from the home studio. And, you know, first, we want to let everybody know, come on down, watch the show over here at THEO'S on Vets. We got $10 wings tonight. And you can comment THEO'S in the chat and get yourself a chance to win a $50 gift card. Or you can come down here. We got games and giveaways and stuff too. Lala's here. She's running the show, and she can get you hooked up with a chance to win something cool over here from us. Gentlemen, let's get into it. This draft is incredibly significant for a team that currently only has the number 58 pick in the draft. The New Orleans Pelicans have been at the forefront, particularly now with the Giannis Antetokounmpo deal being done with Miami. The eyes of the world have turned back to New Orleans Pelicans and their involvement with any number of teams at this point, whether we talk about Brooklyn, we talk about Boston, whether we talk about Golden State, Atlanta. There seems to be just several teams that the Pelicans are connected to, and players as well. I'm gonna start with you, Lito, since you're right next to me, brother. Yeah. Do you think this is a franchise-changing night for the New Orleans Pelicans?
Could be. I think it's very. I don't know if it's franchise-changing. I'll say it's a very important night, though. I think that the way that this could potentially go for the Pelicans, good or bad, could be definitely altering as far as the Joe Dumars era. You know, the fact that you heard all these reports about trading, and now possibly trade requesting a trade coming out today. It's kind of like, okay, well, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? I'm gonna be honest with you, Grub. Like, and 5, I want to hear your thoughts on this too. I don't know if I can't see Trey being a Pelican post this draft.
Yeah, 5. It just seems like it seemed like there could have been a salvaging of this prior to the report that Trey basically said, I'm open to this now. It feels like you can't go backwards with this now. Does that, how much does that impact the Pelicans' urgency to make a deal? And does this put the Pelicans in a bad position making that deal because everyone knows it has to happen now?
You can't, 5.
Yeah, we can't hear you, brother.
My bad. Yo, first of all, shout out to you guys being there. I would love to be at THEO'S. Shout out to THEO'S. $10 wings, right? Probably Lito got a drink already. Who knows what else is going on? But to your initial statement of, is this a franchise altering night? Changing, like, it is a franchise altering, and those two things are very different because usually people have a connotation of changing meaning something negative, and altering could be positive, and although changing could be too. In this sense, the Pelicans and Joe Dumars essentially have multiple streets or multiple avenues they can make something happen, and it can be truly for the benefit or the detriment of the franchise. Now regarding Trey, it hurts you because he said something now, right? Like, all chips could have been in your corner, you know, and you could have got the best for him if he just doesn't say anything. But, you know, for a player like Trey that's been, you know, at the other end of the, you know, the spectrum for the Pelicans, or on the other end of some bad decisions, this is the first time he's ever said something, and the Pelicans have been at a disadvantage for it. He's been benched for no reason. He's been, you know, not paid on, like, there's been multiple things we've seen from this organization where Trey is kind of like, he hasn't said much about. So the time when he says, like, yo, I'm out and I want to be out, I'll give him that. Like, he should say that.
Yeah, it just feels like that the relationship is irrevocably severed at this point. Before we take a quick break, Five is like, if you're Trey Murphy and you have worked your way up, you were considered to be a skill only guy at first, to be the shooting threat. You get your larger role last season. You show that you can expand your game. You come back this year, you put up, relatively speaking, better numbers than you did even the year before.
Yeah.
But the entire year was speculation about whether or not you were going to get traded. And now this entire offseason has been the Pelicans looking for players and getting rid of you to get to the next level. Yeah. If you're Trey Murphy, do you want to come back to that situation?
I mean, no. Especially considering his value around the league, from other teams, and especially like when he goes on these podcasts, you hear people talk glowingly about him, what he would do in this system, what he would do in that system. Also, man, taking account, like, you lost 20 games. You won 20 games in 40 games in 2 years. Right. Like, at some point, yeah, I'm getting the money, but I want to see success. And I ain't mad at that. Also, taking account how you probably know how the powers that be feel about you, as far as, we said the other day, we said that Joe and Troy, from what I heard, they feel like Trey's a soft player, right? I'm sure that's not the first time Trey has heard that. I'm sure that there's some feelings in that locker room, some stagnation in their relationship. So yeah, I mean, I don't blame him if he did request a trade.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. So, Lala, why don't you send us over? You want me to send it?
Craving pizza like me? Theo's Pizza has you covered. Theo's has daily specials going on throughout the week. Enjoy half-price draft beers on Tuesday and half-off bottles of wines on Wednesdays. Perfect for a midweek treat. Free delivery right to your door for the big game. Visit us at theospizza.com and use code FREEDELIVERY for all online orders. Don't miss Theo's lunch specials either. Available Monday through Friday. Enjoy one-topping small pizza for just $10.99 or choose any of our delicious sandwiches with chips and a drink for only $12.99. You can also find us at 5 convenient locations: Elmwood, Mid-City, Magazine Street, Metairie, and Covington. What are you waiting for? Order now and taste the difference at Theo's Pizza. Your perfect slice of happiness.
All right, welcome back to Pro Pels Talk and our draft night watch party live from Theo's Pizza on Veterans Boulevard in Metairie. Tonight, $10 wings, so make sure you come on down and take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And we got plenty of games and contests and stuff here. You can come check those out as well. And if you put Theo's in the comment section right there in the chat, you also get a chance to win a $50 gift card from us here at Pro Pels Talk and Boot Crew Media. So we are glad to have you. We're talking about Trey Murphy. We're talking about the NBA draft. One of the things also when you talk about this Trey Murphy thing is the deals that are available. When we talk about the teams that could be potential partners in this deal, the teams that have been identified: Brooklyn, Golden State, Atlanta in particular, and maybe Boston in a Jaylen Brown deal. All of those, the picks are high, but do the fits go with any of those teams? Are you good with what could come back as far as player talent or draft capital from those three, the main teams that have been mentioned?
Let's start off with the one that everybody's bubbling about, per se. It is the Celtics, right? Like, that's the one that national media is kind of picked up on because, one, Boston media probably doesn't like Jaylen Brown, right? Like, that's probably one of the pushes that you'll see, and to take that contract back from the Celtics and then you give Trey, you put him in a system where his skill set will be, utilized to probably the greatest degree that we can find. He'll be a shooter amongst other shooters, but the only thing is he'll have to learn how to play defense a little bit better. But you get a, 2-time, 3-time first team All NBA or All NBA talent, right? Multi-time All-Star, NBA champion, and Jaylen Brown, NBA Finals MVP. Like, that's somebody that you wouldn't have the chance to get. So if you do that, if you're the Pelicans and you do that, you kind of have sent two totally different messages to your franchise and your base, saying either, one, we're making the push to be a better team right now, or are we rebuilding? If you do the Jaylen Brown deal,
Do it again.
I think that says you're trying to push to be a good team right now. And I don't think your current roster construction dictates that, in my opinion.
So I mean, starting there, but when you look at those other teams as well, and Lito, I mean, like the Boston package isn't particularly appealing. You worry about some things there, but none of these, the Pelicans have talked about a win now mode. Like that's Joe Dumars has said he wants success if immediately, if not sooner. Trading Trey Murphy to any of those teams, not Boston, it doesn't feel like a win now move because you're not getting a player who's as good as Trey Murphy, and that player won't be even in that realm of development for another 2 to 3 seasons. Anybody that you're projecting at that, does it feel like it's inherently a contradiction to say you're trying to win now when you're giving away essentially your most skilled offensive player in a lot of ways for the future?
I mean, everything that has been done so far has been a contradiction from day one.
Yeah.
I don't look. I said before Joe got here when he got the job, I hope that he wasn't the one that got the job. I know people telling me about, you talk about the championship that was won, in the last decade, and that's cool. But the league has changed. How teams operate have changed, and I just do not see them having a plan. And I think that's the main word. Five, you know what's crazy? We've been saying on this particular show, we've been saying the word plan for possibly the last 4 or 5 years. And we're still in the same situation where there's not an actual plan. You acquire pieces, right? You get talent here and there, and then like, how does this shit fit? How do we play Jordan Poole with with Zion? How do we play Jordan Poole with Fears? How do we none of the pieces you got a puzzle with pieces from every other puzzle in the deck. Like there's nothing that particularly makes yours whole. And I think that man, I think Joe just gonna be reckless. These trades, these picks that he might get, they burn in the hole of his pocket. They should he might make a trade. All the picks might be gone by the end of the night.
It feels like almost a drunken weekend in Vegas is coming.
It's not Vegas, Grub. It's not Vegas. You know where it's at. It's the Golden Nugget. It's Lake Charles. Riverboat Joe. Like he gonna make some plays, but I don't know if they're the right play to make.
Whatever you just did, undo it. Because he was a little kid.
I'm the more I watch this stuff and the more we get closer to the draft and we've heard all these things that Joe may not just want to take one more bite at the draft, but try to get 2 picks in this first round. I just I'm looking at Breeze, who always has something to say, and he's like, he sees 8 guys in this draft that are going to be better than Trey Murphy by year 2. And like, we need to be serious about this. Like, I just think we need to be serious about the understanding of like how long it took us. Like, Trey was a 4-year senior. Like, he played all his years at 3 years, 3 years of school. Comes in and it took, again, you had no system to develop him. Whomever you're bringing in this year, this is the odd part about this. And when I think about the draft, is whomever you're picking is not being brought in to be the star. You think you've already drafted or you already have the star. It's either Zion or it's Fears. One of those two is the star. So you're not drafting that guy. You're drafting a supporting piece. So that person's not going to start on this team. Then you're talking about the position limitations that we've already discussed. You have a bunch of wings on this team. You don't have, this is not a draft where you're moving up to get a point guard, and you don't have a center, and the centers that you're talking about moving up are likely overpays relative to Trey Murphy. And I think that's the concern. Not that Trey Murphy is untradeable or untouchable, but whether we're talking about Trey or we're talking about Herb, it feels like the Pelicans are undervaluing Trey to some extent to the rest of the league and overvaluing Herb to the rest of the league. Lito, you want to hit on that?
I think that's very interesting. What do you think they're doing more of? You think it's more of an undervalue or overvalue?
the Herb overvalue is really odd to me. This insistence that you're going to get 2 first-round picks for Herb Jones now. That was before the trade deadline. That was reasonable before the deadline. But today, like after the season that he had, the teams that want Herb Jones are teams that are close to winning. You're not taking Herb Jones as a developmental building piece. So the teams that are trying to win at one Herb Jones don't have the player assets to give you, otherwise they wouldn't be looking for someone, and they don't have the draft assets because they're too good already. So it just feels like he missed the train, particularly on Herb, and you're going to end up with Herb and end up giving Trey away for less than you should get.
Hey, Fab, I want to hear your thoughts on this too, but like I agree with that because you heard last year, right, around the trade deadline, before end of season, post All-Star or pre All-Star, Herb Jones, 2 first-round picks, et cetera, and they were kind of scoffing at that.
Yeah.
And that was very weird to me, considering like who this team, the direction and the lack of talent, right? Like I feel like I love Herb, but I feel like as a 2nd-round pick, I think you've gotten everything you can get out of Herb Jones. I feel like Herb he's definitely outplayed where you drafted him, right? And if you can then acquire new talent, from that, why not, right? Even so, like the shout out to Easy Misi, friend of the show.
Wings.
Yeah, shout out to THEO'S, man. Come get these $10 wings, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, $10 wings tonight at THEO'S.
All right, so explain.
And we just got a couple of trays of wings.
Yeah,
Speaking of trays.
Yeah. And as far as like the trade situation, I was about to say, as far as Misi, you had a 1st-round pick on the line last year for him, right? They didn't do the deal for whatever reason. I feel like it's a lot of hindsight type moves that now you and I talked about the Atlanta pick with Ivory before, like this happened, right? That would be so asinine if you were to make that move to get back in the draft by literally undoing the thing that you did last year, right? And that's not how you pivot as a franchise into contingency. I just, again, the plan here is confusing.
All right, we adding the one and only Chris Connor has joined us live from the Chai. We are into the draft. The first 2 picks have already been made as expected, with AJ DeBassett going number 1 and Darren Peterson going number 2. Chris, we've been talking a lot about the 2 biggest names that have been circulated for the Pelicans as far as trades and Trey Murphy and Herb Jones. We were basically discussing that the Pelicans have overvalued Herb Jones in this draft, in the trade process, and are undervaluing Trey Murphy. What's your thought on that? Chris, did you freeze on us?
Iceman.
5, you would take that one?
Say that one more time.
Again, Grub, because it's breaking up.
Can you hear me now, Chris?
He choppy.
All right.
He chopped like some cheese.
Chris, leave and come back.
We choppy 5?
No, y'all fine.
Okay.
Y'all fine. I was just trying to make sure we were good.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, you good.
All right, for sure. So say that question for me, Grub, one more time.
Yeah, so the overvaluing of Herb and the undervaluing of Trey, like it just feels like, again, it's par for the course for the Pels.
Yeah, man, they do this a lot, right? Like it's like when you go to the store and they got a deal on something and somebody be like, that should be more expensive. And then the owner be like, you know what? You're right. And they change the price to what the dude said. And now when it's somebody else coming there like, oh, I want that. They're like, well, that's the price. That's too high for me. Like, you keep going like the wind telling you, like you don't get to determine what your value is. Truth be told, the league is telling you what your value is, and that is subject to change based on the time in which they need it. Right? Supply and demand. Right now, the Herb Jones supply, they don't really need that right now because they don't know if they need to win right now. No one knows. No one knows until, it's middle of the season, late in the season, All-Star break. that's when they'll know. If you didn't do it, like that's the peak of Herb's value at All-Star break. That's when you get to determine that. You don't get to determine that in the summer because people don't know what their teams are yet.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like you buy a car, you don't go buy a muffler just to say like, hey, I might need this muffler in 3 months. You go buy the muffler when your car, the muffler goes out. That's when you do that. So, and the subject of that price, the price of that muffler will subject to change based on when you need it. So, I don't know. I don't know why they do that, but Trey is the one that's truly like interesting to me. Like, I don't know how you undervalue him just because somebody says like, yo, I want to get out. Like, and he's probably said that to them, in some meetings or something like that. That doesn't mean you need to move him as quickly as possible with the move that's, that couldn't be the best one. Like the Herb move, like if you moved Herb now and it was a first and potentially a second, like that's still a good move. It may not be the best move you could have gotten, but that time has passed, right? You can't go back on that. Just like he told us about the draft picks, right? Don't worry about the draft picks. We're past that. Well, don't worry about the draft pick. We're past that. All right. Now with Trey, you need to get that one right because that one pays. That one has more implications on your future. That can pay more dividends in the future. So I would be more skilled and more diligent about the trade deal than I am about the Herb one.
Yo, can I respond to that?
Yeah.
So Five, I'm not disagreeing with. Actually, I'm agreeing with everything you said.
No,
I think no. I think the reason why they undervalue Trey is because Trey plays this era of basketball. He plays like this era.
Well, how you gonna undervalue it then? You know what I mean? Like if it's because the style
because they not from this era,
and that's okay. Just because, listen, a crackhead does not determine.
Shout out the crack.
You know what I mean? Always goes back to crack. The crackheads do not determine what the heroin dealers sell.
Ooh.
That's two different things. Just because you like crack, that ain't got nothing to do with heroin.
Yeah.
You stay out of heroin business. But if you a crackhead and you come across some heroin, but yet you don't know what to do with it, that don't mean you just sell it for cheap. You sell it for a high price.
I'm with you. I just think that they look at him and they look at Herb. Herb he looks like a player or he plays like a player that could be from Joe's era. He probably feels comfortable with that. It's not comfortable with Trey. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to make of him. Doesn't know what to do with him.
This is the part that I'm a little confused by though, is because I think we generally agreed that we thought that Joe didn't see Trey the same way that David Griffin did. But at the same time, if we talk about a team that is lacking quote unquote dogs, like is Trey the biggest problem of the not dogs on this roster?
No.
Because like there are a lot of guys that I think, whether we talking about the Jordan Pooles or the Jordan Hawkins, or there are other guys that I just feel like if you want to make the toughness of this roster a little better, they're more pressing targets. Shout out to Ross. I can't hear you. Hold on. Listen. Are you muted? There you go. Let me try it.
Ross.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Rose.
Do y'all see this? I don't know if y'all can see this. I don't know if you have a computer in front of y'all, but there's this guy, Ashton, has a picture of Chris as his Abby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to Ashton, man.
Hold on. We got to get Chris. It's Chris. Let's see. All right, Chris.
What's up, y'all?
Iceman. What's up, Iceman?
What's up? How y'all doing?
Apple.
So now we're just missing Justin, who is still at his
Trying to
daughter's
make the changes.
right?
Yeah.
So
Just
just
on the way.
I think I see him in the distance, so he'll be here shortly. But the question has been, and finally we get to get Chris your perspective on this, is we just talk about how the Pelicans value their players, and in particular the Trey Burke, and now we are past pick 4. We're getting to pick 4 now, so if the Pelicans are going to jump into this first round, this is the area 5 to 11 has been some of the speculation. Do you think we see a Trey Murphy trade coming up shortly?
I don't, man. I don't. Yeah. I don't
No.
I don't think that they're gonna get ultimately what they want. And I think that somebody's gonna get cold feet. That's just how I view it, man. I mean, I think there could be something with Herb,
I got a laptop.
but I just can't see Trey being the one right now. I feel like I don't know at this point what's gonna change between now, unless there's a pick that we're not expecting. And I feel like it probably would have been more beneficial to get this done before the draft.
Why?
So,
Why?
Yes.
because I think a lot of these teams right now are more so focused on.
Yeah.
Has anything noteworthy happened?
No, it's been chalk so far. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think a lot of these teams right now are focused on their draft boards. I think they're focused on who's maybe moving down or moving up. I don't know if we're gonna be looking at a situation unless something's already been agreed upon, where at this point somebody's finally gonna say, okay, let's make this Trey Murphy deal happen. I just can't see it. I mean, not within not within 5 to 10 or 5 to 11. I think it would have been better off for everybody if you get this done before the draft starts.
I think that's probably true, but I don't know if that stops Joe Dumars.
Nothing stops Joe Dumars.
Like is to kind of keep the alliteration going is, and I'm gonna say it this way, and I think y'all will know what I'm talking about. Is Joe Dumars buying the cheeseburgers or selling the cheeseburgers?
Boy.
Typically,
Go ahead,
Bob.
reference. No, I just want to know if Justin got the reference or not.
I don't know if Justin got that reference.
I'm trying to deal with Ross who's eating wings right now and he can't listen to everything. The Grub's laughing.
Russ took the headphones off. I said, fuck it. Fuck this podcast shit.
Yeah, Ross is here just for the free food. Yeah.
$10 wings at Theo's on Vets, man. Pull up.
Yeah.
Shout out to IC, man. He here. He ain't want to come pod though. Oh,
You shouting out
You heard the question.
what was the question?
Clark.
Oh, the cheeseburger. The ham was he
Are
the
the
hamburger
Pelicans,
leather?
is Joe Dumars selling the cheeseburgers or is he buying
Shit,
the
he's
cheeseburgers?
selling something. I don't know what he's selling. But
Got these cheeseburgers, man.
he's selling something. I don't know what it is, but
I'll trade you Trey Murphy.
Oh my God.
Y'all think this guy's gonna be any good?
I like Caleb Wilson.
hell yeah.
Caleb Wilson reminds me of Sean Kemp.
Hell yeah, he is.
That's what I see when I see Caleb Wilson. I see Sean Kemp.
Yes. To answer your question, yes. Very good.
Now they got two Caleb in Chicago, huh?
Yep, and they both Caleb W. Caleb
wow.
Williams and Caleb Wilson. Let's go ahead and take a break real quick. Can we do that? Let's go ahead and take a quick break and let's just kind of reset,
Yeah,
make sure the audio's good and everything.
All right.
Yes.
I can see everything. What's up, Jared? Chris? Okay. I'm good.
What's
Ross doesn't work.
Plus the computer, I think, is about to. We did the battery's about to.
All right.
Yeah, so we need to take a little quick break. Can you hear it, Justin?
Craving pizza like me? Theo's Pizza has you covered. Theo's has daily specials going on throughout the week. Enjoy half-price draft beers on Tuesday and half-off bottles of wines on Wednesdays. Perfect for a midweek treat. Free delivery right to your door for the big game. Visit us at theospizza.com and use code FREEDELIVERY for all online orders. Don't miss Theo's lunch specials either. Available Monday through Friday. Enjoy one-topping small pizza for just $10.99 or choose any of our delicious sandwiches with chips and a drink for only $12.99. You can also find us at 5 convenient locations: Elmwood, Mid-City, Magazine Street, Metairie, and Covington. What are you waiting for? Order now and taste the difference at Theo's Pizza. Your perfect slice of happiness.
Good.
All right, welcome back. We are live from THEO'S in Metairie on Veterans Boulevard, and we are drinking. That's right. We are drinking. We are eating. We are enjoying $10 wings, and there are giveaways as well. You can come down here. You can participate in some of the games and some giveaways, and we are doing a giveaway for a $50 gift card. Just hit THEO'S in the chat, and you will be eligible for that. Of course, we are talking NBA draft. The fifth pick is going off the board right now with the Los Angeles Clippers. It's been chalk so far through the first 4 picks. And let's see, the Clippers.
So Clippers get Clippers make the pick. Yeah. So Clippers make the pick, and obviously that was talked about. I thought they were going to be a team. I saw a report earlier today. Like I didn't know if the guy was bullshitting or not, but I'm actually shocked that the Clippers made that pick.
Hold on, that was his mom.
A trade could still happen.
Bro,
We're doing wags and moms.
yeah.
That's the game within the game.
Yeah, we in between the lines. Like, yeah.
Everybody looks the same now at the draft, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Yeah.
All the players look exactly the same. It's the same build that for everybody. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
What was that year where they had like the just outrageous suits? Like everybody just had on.
That's 90. That was 94. That's Jalen Rose draft.
Can y'all hear it? Hold on. Can y'all hear it?
You're really low, Justin.
I say you can hear.
I can hear you, but you a little low, Justin.
I cannot hear Chris.
I can't hear Chris.
Jared, can
I can hear you, but it seems like you're getting picked up by Lito's mic, and Ross is being picked up by Grubb's mic.
What's up?
No, I don't hear it at all. No.
You know, it's always tough. You know, live stuff happens.
Hell yeah, I'm stressed. Let me let's take a break.
All right, we're gonna take another break. We're gonna try to work on this stuff. We're gonna be back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, not no more. Whoa. Yeah, I think they might have overdid it a little bit. What's up with y'all in the world, man?
Yo, Five.
Yeah, I'm here, man.
What the fuck? I can't hear him. He can't.
I can hear you.
All right, if you can hear me, Justin said we gotta run it.
All right.
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, hold on.
All right, now that I guess Brooklyn has picked Mikal Brown Jr. Sacramento, I think that pick's pretty intriguing, right? Like when we really think about the Pels potentially making a trade to get back in it. Can you hear me, Chris? You good? What is going on?
I don't know what's going on, dog. I don't know.
This is insane. All right, cool. I just run it by myself, man. Cool. Yeah, all right. So we think about like Sacramento. Do you think they possibly will give up their pick, although they're in the rebuild? I don't.
Iceman, you hear us? Iceman.
I can hear you.
Lala, how do I get it over here?
I was going ISO, and I got
no.
Okay.
But can we go to
Say what's up.
What's up?
I can hear you, Chris.
What's up? All right, we good? Man,
I
we got
can't
the
hear you there.
Say what's up.
What's up?
What's going on, bro? Hey, look, we
Who
missing
are
like
you?
huh?
Who are you?
I'm Chris Connor.
Reed.
Yeah.
No, his name is Chris Connor.
Connor. What's up? What's up,
His
Con?
name is Chris Connor, and your name is Connor.
Oh, Chris Connor.
Yeah.
What's going on, Con?
I'm good.
What you want the Pelicans to do, man?
To be stylish, I think.
Hey, yeah. Hey, I like them to dress better. That worked.
Okay.
Who's your favorite?
Yo.
I don't even know what you asked.
Yes.
Go ahead, bro.
It's good.
All right, we still, we're gonna work through this.
This been a nightmare, but hey, we still pie. All right, so look, I don't even know where we at in the draft right now. We still at 6 for Brooklyn.
Chris are frozen, but we're gonna keep talking. And 6th pick just taken. Brooklyn takes Michael Brown Jr. from Louisville. A surprising pick, but we're getting closer to.
I don't know what's going on.
Can you hear me, Five?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Okay, all right. So hold on.
Let's take them down for a second.
Let them figure it out. So the Clippers took Wagler, the Kings took Acuff,
ooh,
and the Nets took Mikal Brown Jr.
Yep.
So none of those. I think that knocks Brooklyn off in regards to Trey Murphy.
Yeah.
Those weren't players that we heard the Pelicans interested in. So now we at 8. We at the number. We back at Atlanta.
So what would you do, Chris? Would you
all they players here? To me, everybody they want is right here.
Yeah. It's just, I
what?
mean, essentially they have something we would want too, right? Like if you look,
yeah,
if you're looking for a center, now I wouldn't pay that price for it.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if Atlanta gonna pay the price.
I was saying it the opposite way. I don't know if the Pelicans should pay that price.
What if they take Mara and keep him?
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Then that would make a Kongu eventually expendable, but not right now. But I can see them doing that. Because did they just pay Jalen Johnson or no?
Yeah, like not what was it last year?
It might have been last year, but I could see him, saying I want more.
Well, I guess with them though, bro, it's like if they're not gonna trade the pick, they just signed CJ back for another year. Like they not here to develop. Mara gives them something that they don't have.
Yeah.
And that's a low post option.
Yeah.
If that's the move they go. But I feel like so many other options that they could take aren't playable. Not at 8.
Not at 8. Somebody said something really interesting. Not to go off of this, but somebody said something really interesting. How about Herb to the Bucks or Khalil? Now, I like Khalil Ware. What do you think the Bucks would want to do? Do they want their pick back? Because essentially that's something they would want. And I'm not saying give up your pick for Khalil, but is that something you would reach out about?
Sure. My question would be, wouldn't Khalil have been somebody that was high on their asset list when they reached out to Miami? I'm just assuming like he had to be up there, right? You would say.
What's more important? Like, you're not about to win now. Like, that. Like, what's more valuable to you?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking your own pick is more valuable to you than what Khalil's 23, 24.
Right. And they got 10 and 13 this year.
So do I need you? If I can get my pick back, I would think about moving it and then trade using Herb as the filler.
I mean, at that point, wouldn't you, if you were them, wouldn't you want to flip Herb?
Yeah, and if you as in the Bucks,
yeah,
but I still have that option to do so, and I have the time frame. Me being the Bucks, I have the time to do that when he'll be more valuable, which is All-Star break.
Yeah,
and I can get more from him.
Yeah,
the Pelicans aren't willing to wait that long.
Yeah, I mean, and that makes sense, Five. I mean, I think that if you are Milwaukee, you should have been in conversations with anybody that has your future.
Yeah,
consistently. You should be calling them every day.
You should.
So
that's why I was super surprised when the Bucks deal went down and the Pelicans weren't involved in any shape. Like when I saw it this morning, I was like, "Oh, okay, well, what's up?"
The Hawks took the Hawks took Kingston Flemings.
What the? Why?
That don't feel like that's for them, huh?
Who's it for?
Who's that for? Who's that for?
Bro, wait.
So CJ, Naw, and Kingston is off the bench, right? Well, of course, but
do you move? Somebody about to get moved.
It's somebody, dog. Because look, everybody. I would have thought between Mara, maybe not Morez, but between Burries and Mara, I thought by 8, one of them will be gone, and that might work in the Pelicans' favor a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Good thing they didn't trade with Atlanta.
So now we back at Golden State.
Still, I don't know. It just never felt like a good deal. But if you could get, if there was a guy that you really wanted, then I guess.
You know what's funny, Five?
What's up?
The Dallas just signed Michigan coach. He got an option between all three of his players.
Which one you want most? Which one do you love most?
What you think?
It's probably Mora. Like, I know I'm not tripping, right? That's the center for Michigan.
Yeah,
it's probably him. Just the fit around Cooper. Like, it just makes the most sense. Like, the Cooper's gonna have the ball in his hand. You know what that kid is. You know his strengths. You know his weaknesses. And now you can build that with a NBA coaching staff. Not to say that the one in Michigan wasn't good, but
yeah,
it's all basketball, right?
Are you done with Lively?
No, but he's expendable.
Yeah,
like he's a trade piece now. Like I got a younger, more not say more talented, but I got a younger, talented center with insane wingspan.
Yeah, because I was thinking of I was thinking of Yaxel.
Yeah, young boy, talented on and off the court. Young boy, talented. Young boy, talented.
Yeah, that's that. See, that Atlanta pick tells me that the Pelicans wanted too much, and this time, Atlanta like you not.
Hey,
you ain't getting your look back.
Remember what I said yesterday? Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna come back. We gonna keep fighting until I win. That's the type
get my bearings together. Let me get my bearings together, and I'm back.
We gonna keep fighting until I get my lick back. And I feel you,
man,
I feel you.
How many slices of pizza you think been eaten just simply by Justin? Up 5 gone now. Damn.
Oh, they took me away.
Oh. We can't hear y'all.
Nope.
We can't hear y'all. Oh.
What? Talk.
Can y'all? Yeah. Are we back?
Can y'all hear us?
We can hear y'all.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Yeah, they can hear us. Thank you so much, Lala. We appreciate you so much.
Shout out to Lala.
Shout out to Lala.
I still can't hear them.
In the chat. W's in the chat for Lala.
It's all good though. So the Hawks are picking at 8.
They already
picked Kingston Fleming.
Yeah. He ain't gonna be a Hawk.
Does that feel like a good pick for the Hawks? The Hawks are a team that everybody figures is going to take another step this offseason. This offseason, right? They re-signed CJ McCollum. He gives them the 1-year deal at $20+ million. You got Jalen Johnson. You've got Dyson Daniels. You've got Kobe Buffkin.
I mean, is this pick feels a little bit reactionary to the playoffs where it was CJ or bust,
right?
So I mean, they certainly needed guard help. Is this the? I mean,
I like Kingston, but I don't know if I like him here.
I think for sure what this does, that wasn't a pick taken for the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Like we know that there's not going to be a secondary trade here because that is not the guy that the Pelicans would take in this position. So I think as we continue to fall through this, and Ross said this while we were going through the technical difficulties, and Ross, I'll let you finish the thought, but as you see these picks come off the board, are you feeling that it's less likely that we see a Trey Murphy deal?
Yeah, I don't see it. I just don't. I don't know where it would happen. It all feels sort of out of the blue. There's no indication that we worked out anybody. Not to say that they haven't. They could have done something in private, but this feels a bit rushed and just sort of out of left field. I don't know if it was noise related to something else, or whether it was teams putting that out there, trying to drum up interest in Trey. But in either case, I'm not real optimistic.
I look at. I'm still not out on Golden State, and I'm still not out on Oklahoma City. I've been saying Oklahoma City for a couple weeks now.
I agree with you
because that's 12 and 17.
I
know we said top 10, but they're talking about top 10. Like Golden State's been a team. I mean, LA just randomly came up today. Brooklyn just randomly came up today, but Golden State's been a team for a while now. Jared, Chris, can y'all sound good? We're good. Okay,
we good.
I mean, Leo, we talked about Kingston. I know we were talking about it in the March Madness. Like, I liked him a lot.
Good dog.
But Dallas Grub is a team here I'm interested in as well. I mean, they
all in
have
Michigan
salary,
guys.
but can you? Do you?
Like Dallas is a weird position for a lot of things because you get a new coach in Dusty May who just took the job
yesterday.
Right.
So he has not even really assessed this roster at all. So he's got no influence on Dallas's pick.
So this got to be a front office pick coming up,
right? This is completely a front office pick, and then at the same time. Dallas has been linked to a lot of other deals too, because you don't know if Dallas is about to make a major Kyrie Irving deal, and his name has been mentioned with multiple teams, including Minnesota. And then you also talk about, you've seen some stuff where there may be some other players that Dallas is looking at, maybe a Daniel Gafford or somebody
Dallas
like that.
just made their pick. Your boy, Lito. Perez Johnson.
They picked him that high?
Perez Johnson just went, Chris.
Perez Johnson to Dallas.
That makes sense. I mean, he went back with his coach.
Yeah, well, I guess so. Dusty May knows him as well as anybody.
Listen, they could have got all three. Well, we was just talking about it, guys. They had an option to get either one. He could have got Mara. He could have got Yaxel. He could have got Morez. So, I mean, to me, if your coach is saying, I mean, forget the fit, because, I mean, I think any of those guys could have been helpful over there. Your coach is telling you who he thinks the best of the group is, or the best is out the group.
Listen, Grubb said something earlier.
Damn.
My only refute of that is if you're their coach, right? May, you don't take this job without.
What does Milwaukee do?
Without clarification to say, I get to pick who I want. Like if my guy, one of my guys is available and is a person of need for our team, we're picking him. Like, I'm not signing the contract unless we say it.
Can you guys hear 5?
Yeah.
They can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, great. But yeah, I don't think he's not signing that contract, and I think that's probably why it took so long until they got that established.
I mean, there are just so many now. The way this is going is it seems there's a run on point guards. Like the last few picks have been a lot of 1s and 2s that are going at this stage. If Johnson is the guy here for Dallas and he's going, are we about to see now, because this is the area you start talking about. 8A Mara was in that 9 to 11 range. Yeah. And you talk about these other picks. And we've heard obviously Golden State and Justice talked a lot about Golden State at 11, and then the obviously with 2 picks for Oklahoma City in the 11 to 17 range as well. Mara seems to be the guy that, as far as bigs would go, who would be the next target. It has to happen soon if the Pelicans are making that deal.
Hey, so the trade's final with Derek Queen. So I'm interested to hear y'all's thoughts. The Hawks get Kingston Flemings. And Newell, and the Pelicans get Derek Queen. You like that trade?
Doesn't 13 still count as part of it too? Because isn't it?
Well, no, the Pelicans give their first round, so that's,
right.
The final return from 2012 draft night.
Oh yeah, 5 and 8. That's right. So yeah,
I'm not mad at. Like again, I told y'all, it's all about the timing of it. We wouldn't know until we saw them, and saw the trade and how it went down. Like, I don't think that was bad for Derek Queen. It just looked bad because of which. They didn't have to give up all of that without any protection. Like,
right.
You didn't have to do that.
There was no plan because you didn't have a plan. So look,
just because a bad plan doesn't hurt you, doesn't mean it wasn't a bad plan.
Right.
And so the Pelicans are fortunate, that it didn't bite them more severely. But I think even with this, you'd still would have liked to have, you'd like to have the flexibility. You'd like to have the ability to have more say in this, because we're seeing what the process yields, in that you could end up with less for Trey Murphy, or you could end up with less for whatever. And it puts you in this position of chasing a bit to get back into the first round. Maybe this means where the picks have gone, that the Pelicans are going to pay less now, sit in that 11 to 17. But I think Milwaukee has a huge say on that, don't you think, Ross?
So
Oh, sorry.
No, Ross, let me cut you. Go ahead, Ross.
No, I didn't have anything. I was going to ask. I mean, because this, I guess this pick is a little bit of a surprise, but for me, it was more of. I feel like the draft starts with this Bucks.
This is what I'm saying.
It was pretty much chalk before the. I mean, I think this guy went at Johnson went a hair high.
Yeah.
He went 4 or 5 picks earlier than people thought he would, but it feels like this is where the draft starts.
Do you think? Can I ask y'all a question here? Do y'all think with the backlash they got last year, they got scared to get into the top 10 this year? Or is that just all bullshit?
I don't think so.
You're talking about the
I
Pelicans?
don't think so.
You think they were really going top 10, Chris?
I think that they put offers on the table. The teams decided to say no. Like me and Five were talking about, Atlanta. I'm more than sure New Orleans wanted to figure something out there, but like Five said, all right, well, I'm just gonna keep pulling up and until I win. You got me last year. Now it's my turn to get my lick back, and Atlanta said no, we just gonna take Kingston Fleming. So, but honestly, I think. Even if the Pelicans are still interested in getting into the draft, I think this is one of the better, I guess, scenarios that the way that depending on what Milwaukee does. If Milwaukee takes like a mid and you go into the back end of the lottery with Mara and Burry still there, maybe you might be able to get one of those options without having a trade fee, which changes things, maybe substantially. So. We're gonna see.
Chris, you don't feel like Morez at 9. You don't feel like that's a slight reach? You think that's in line?
That's a reach.
Okay.
That's a reach. But again, his coach had to, I know Grubb said he didn't, he couldn't have had much influence, but they didn't they had some kind of conversation, right? For sure, like you watched him over the past year. You recruited him from Illinois to come here to Michigan. What do you think? What do you think is the three? If we're in a situation where all three of your guys are here, who's the best player? You said Morez. So maybe it is a reach, but maybe it's telling us a little bit more. Who's gonna know him better than the dude that had him all last year and won a national championship?
I think Ross is right, though. I think the draft does start now in a lot of ways because I think these are the teams that are not necessarily in love with first-round picks. You get into a whole bunch of teams right now who are trying to retool rather than rebuild. So I think this is where the picks get cheaper. And I think if Joe Dumars wants to take advantage, I think now it's time to be smart and let the calls come your way. I'm not chasing the pick now, but I think as teams want to see players that they want go off the board, they're more likely to sell their first rounders.
But Grubb, and we've talked about this before, Golden State hasn't been fans of Trey Murphy for 2 weeks. They've been fans of Trey Murphy for 4 years.
Right.
And that is a combo of Curry and Trey. And they have what's about a window? They have a 3-year window. And so they don't care about picks the next couple of years unless Ross, you got something else.
No, I'm just because I hear what you're saying and I don't disagree. But at what cost?
Yeah,
you got to have something off, bro. By the way,
they got to have something
you can take your
want.
You can take your headphones.
But what if I like them on?
You want to wear headphones? You want to wear headphones?
I'll do podcast once a month. Let me wear the headphones. They got to have something. They got to have something you want. And I don't know that does 11 get the job done? Does 11 in their pick next year get the job done?
What about, are you interested in these are the names? I know people in the chat are going to flip out, but these are the names of Podziemski.
You want to answer your question?
No. There's not a single player on that roster other than Curry.
Look, and I get that Moody is fine. Pods is fine. They're fine players. But is that really what you want? Is that really moving the needle for you in the short run? Because those guys are also going to be due for extension soon. I don't know. Look, if it was multiple picks,
Milwaukee just took Burries.
3 years worth of picks, maybe.
Wait, what?
But
wow,
Milwaukee took Burries.
But I think that's what you thought. Who said Milwaukee was going to take Burries? I think somebody up here said Milwaukee was going to take him.
See, this is interesting then, because I think
so. I think Mara goes.
I think one of the few guys Golden State would have been interested in was the cat from Tennessee.
But he's still on the board, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So a man comes up now.
Yeah.
And Mara is sitting there too, but I think both of those guys are attracted to the Warriors.
I agree.
Because the Warriors, they have Porzingis, and if they don't re-sign Porzingis, you add another guy who's 7'4", who can shoot, who may not be injured.
It seems like a no-brainer. To take one of those two guys.
Yeah, they all look the same, man. I'm sorry. All the players look the same these days. Every dude look like they're from the same family. It's all light-skinned dudes with curly hair looking like Sideshow Bob. It's all of the whole league. Just light-skinned dudes with curly hair. That's it.
They play the same too.
Even the white dudes
Jalen's
have
in the
that
NBA.
weird.
Yeah.
Too many.
So yeah, I think this is where Ross,
Ross,
you gotta speak up so I can hear you.
look, I'm about to, you ain't that far away now. You know, I can reach.
That's how I was telling Lito.
I can reach you now.
I think that's where the draft starts. I still think OKC and Trey Murphy makes sense.
Sure, OKC makes sense. Yeah, and OKC has players that you could actually use. Yeah,
That's what. Again, they have 2 picks.
I would
I think
actually
it has
take
to come
the light-skinned Jalen Williams from Oklahoma City, 6'10" center. You know, can shoot on the outside, plays good defense. Not an absurd contract.
That's my future. That's my shooting guard right there.
Yeah, I don't think. I think it has to. If the Pelicans are gonna make a trade, I think it's Golden State or nothing.
You don't think it's OKC's out?
Well, I mean, because
OKC those 2 picks and OKC doesn't need them.
Right. Well, fair, but who exactly? I mean, you have to tell me who they're targeting, right? If one of your targets is still available, if the guy you want is Mara, you go get him. If that's the guy versus settling at 12 and 17, right?
Well, it could be because if Golden State takes a mint at 11, then Mara's there at 12.
You think you can get 12 and 17
Mara at 11 and a mint is there at 12 and Joe likes so
So breaking news: the Warriors are taking calls for pick 11.
Oh, of course. Well, that ain't really breaking news. We knew the Warriors taking calls for pick 11.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, they ain't gonna make a pick.
I mean, they're gonna have to make one.
So they got
no choice but to make it.
They got about 3.5 minutes to make it.
Yeah, to move it, so they got to make something.
This is interesting because you know that meme of Joe Dumars on 2 phones.
Yeah.
It's happening right now. It's happening right. Like, he's talking to Golden State. He's talking to OKC.
Joe got a styrofoam cup with a string coming out of it, talking to kids in a treehouse.
Ross? Is this actually a possibility though? Like, could Golden State and the New Orleans Pelicans be in trade talks right now, and maybe they don't get a deal done right now, but the Pelicans are like, take this guy right now and we'll offer a trade? Is that ever? I mean, there's only 5 or 6 minutes to take in these trade calls. Do you think that's something like that's ever talked about?
I mean, they got to. I don't know. I mean, they're not going to take a player you want without a guarantee.
Right.
Without a deal's got to be done. They're also taking their player. That's too much risk. But I mean, they could definitely be on the phone right now, working it out.
I think Golden State knows that OKC has way more. Of course, they know they have way more to offer than Golden State. So they're trying to make sure that maybe even Joe and the Pelicans are going to offer Trey before, because they know Oklahoma City can offer more, and Oklahoma City is not trying to offer as much. But they have the luxury to do so. They don't want to draft. I don't think either wants to draft.
There was a time to make a deal.
He can't hear. Okay.
Who cares?
Chris, you're good. Go ahead.
We hear you. I'm just upset. I don't care. Bring guys.
He just mad because this dude is gone.
That's okay though. Let me ask you. Let's say you do trade with OKC, Lito. I would assume I know. Let's say Mara's there at 12. You taking Mara at 12, but any of the guys that we talked about, you would want at 17. That we did film on.
Is what's homie name from Michigan? The old.
See, this is what I'm saying. If you gotta start your response with what's homie's name.
He got a weird name.
We can't.
He got a weird name.
But it's not. Then we're not talking about Trey Murphy. Then we're talking about Herb Jones and some other thing for me.
He got a weird name though.
Yeah, I talked about it. Yeah, you know Yaxel.
Yeah, I'd be cool with Yaxel right there.
Let me ask y'all this. This is the part of the thing too with the roster is if you are trading Trey Murphy, the supposition then I think would be that Sadiq Bey is either your starting 3 or your 6th man, right?
Yes.
Right? He has to be one or the other. Your starting 3 or your 6th man.
Yes.
So if you take a Yaxel Lindeberg,
I think he's gonna be a starter next year.
Right.
I think Sadiq Bey's like inked into like.
So if you take Yaxel, then Yaxel becomes your most likely 6th man. Because he's a guy who's 24 almost.
Which is a lot to put on a rookie.
But that's what you're going to be asking because he's the
100%.
most NBA ready at 23. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he's also got the lowest ceiling. His floor might be the highest because he's ready to play, but his ceiling is going to be low, and you've got to give him minutes immediately at 23, 24.
What if they see Fears as the sixth man?
Then they fucked up. Like,
No
I'm
way.
sorry.
No
I
way.
say it like that.
No, I think you're right. But
If you see Fears as the sixth man, I think you messed up.
It's all just so disappointing when you start talking about it like that.
yeah, I'm saying like I
the
don't.
whole thing like with Bay, you know, like if you do this, Bay is the starter and this guy's it's like, what? Then just start over. I mean, what are we doing?
I think I don't know, man. I can see a world where, you know, we've been talking about Fears starting, but I can see a world where, man, DeJounte is a starter. He's gonna be here for the foreseeable future, and he blocked you, right?
You been DeJounte?
Yeah.
He blocked me. I mean, I told.
Damn.
Jared, we was talking about this, but like, I don't know. I look back, I was like, I think I mentioned his name a couple times in a trade proposal.
When
And
that
today
Yank's
I
album
said
coming
Jeremiah
out?
Fears should be given the keys. And I was just seeing what he was, talking about on draft day. He blocked me. I don't know.
You added him or?
I mean, I can't. No, I didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of who is this dude in the red hat? Just sitting here out of place. Look, you see the cap behind him.
OG Paru.
Like, is that a backwards baseball cap, or is that he wearing a fez? Is Homer wearing a fez, or is that a backward baseball cap? I can't tell. But he looked like he was wearing a floral print.
Damn.
Like, he's the birthday.
Golden State made the pick.
They go draft.
They took Mara.
Yaxel.
They took
have the
Yaxel.
Yeah.
They looking at him.
I'm just letting you know what they took.
What the
Don't
fuck?
shoot the
Got,
messenger,
I got
man.
to clip that one up. 214.50.
That's crazy.
Yaxel.
Why is Common there? What is Common doing? What is
And you know he played in the
what is
NBA.
What is going on with this
Chill
draft?
out, dog.
The draft is just out of pocket. People just randomly there. What's Common doing there?
Yo, this is crazy. You took Yaxel.
With all this trade talk and there's nothing going on.
They were not
but it's-
expecting to make this pick. They were not trying to.
I don't understand this draft so far. Like, it's gotten weird, but not in a good way. Lindenberg, that's high for him.
What does Yaxel do for Golden
This is the most. This is, you talk about reaches. Nah, this is an absolute reach, and I like Yaxel's game.
Me too.
But like, bro, come
11?
on. Yeah, bro, come on.
I didn't think he was going higher than 17.
Me
I
neither.
think he was gonna hire the 17.
Late lottery is what I
Yeah.
thought he was
That-
going to be.
like- That's a surprise. It's five. Yaxel Lindenberg this high. Like,
Hey,
Yo, do they want Steph Curry to win?
Is
My
more
bad.
elite off the court than he is on the court.
What'd you say, Bob?
Yaxel is more elite off the court than he is on the court. If you do some digging,
Oh, I'm gonna have to do my
Yeah.
research.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the boy
Sniper
got
list?
game. Boy
Sniper
got game.
list?
Oh yeah, the boy got game.
Salute.
Salute.
I just
Did you just Darvingham salute?
go hard at them dudes.
if y'all go ahead and comment Theo's in the comment section, we'll be picking another winner for the $50. You know, what I'm
I
saying?
got the $50.
You know, and while you here, like we got the $10 wins. Man, come see Theo's.
Get some $10 wings.
Now, Chris, you
Ice cold bills.
Chris, you back?
Yeah.
Yaxel at 11. Talk to me, dog.
That's a desperate team, dog.
But do they think he's going to be like the next Draymond, but more offensive? Because I mean, he's
24?
He's old. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, he about to be 24.
Yeah, he's about to be 24.
Hey, before we get into this next pick, all right, I gotta shout out my guy, not KD, on Twitter. I told him
You've been waiting to do this.
He's been a long time fan of the show. Thanks for reminding me, Lido. You didn't
Never
remind
text
me.
me. You never text
You
me.
never.
I told
Make sure you scan the code. You never reminded me. But shout out to my guy, not KD.
Shout out to
Make
not
sure you scan the code.
Shout out.
Appreciate you, dog. So thanks for all the support. Anyways, I told Lido KD, not KD. I told Lido to remind me. You never reminded me.
I
So
told you
blame
text me. You never text me. I can't remind you if you don't text me.
Why I gotta text you?
That was the reminder to remind me.
And Lala, you saw Lido was dogging you today on Twitter too.
I didn't. I didn't.
On a thumbnail?
Didn't. Lala, if you read the comments, I said everything is all Justin's fault. I said nothing about you. I'm not Justin. You know.
How disappointed are y'all gonna be if the Pelicans and there are no moves?
Extremely disappointed. Extremely disappointed. Dave.
I don't know.
Extremely. So then I ask you this. You got it, Lala. Let me then how can you what do you do with Trey? I mean, obviously he plays. Do you believe those reports that Trey I
think now, if you're I mean, we talked about this off the top we talked about this with 5 as well. It's just if you're Trey Murphy at this point and you've been through a year of this now, because it started last year when teams assessed your value, but the Pelicans.
Chris?
Yeah, they frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last 2 seasons.
Oh, there they go.
And now they're talking about trading you. You're not going to want to come back.
Chop it.
Yeah.
Y'all good now?
Yeah, I mean,
y'all good now?
That's all cool, but like we shouldn't be talking about Trey like he's Jaylen Brown either.
No, I'm not saying, but I mean,
like yes, if that's cool. It's okay if you're
I
upset.
think Trey will be a professional.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
But then what's the point of bringing him back on a 49-win team in the last 2 years? Not just like
because you don't want to just take a loss either. Like if you don't get, I mean, look, it's still a business. If you don't get the deal you want, you move on and you play. I mean, it's no different than buying anything or selling anything. Like everything is for sale for the right cost. Now it might hurt. Go ahead, Chris.
Wouldn't you guys assume with Trey's personality that they had a passive conversation? If they talked at all, it would be passive. Like, hey, like we gonna see what's out there. Both sides could be open to the trade, but may not be looking aggressively to move on. Trey could be like, I'm down with Sam, but if a better situation presents, you guys can give me someplace else, let's do it. And Joe and Troy could be like, look, we don't know if we're going to get what we want. You might be going, be ready. But if not, we're going to try to figure this thing out here. I mean, I don't think it has to be a situation. Like, I don't think it's like, I think Ross is right with, like, when you mentioned Jaylen Brown. I mean, Jaylen Brown's a champion, right? A finals MVP. He has a right to feel like they want to trade me. I just had the best year of my career last year as an individual. I got us to the playoffs when the number one guy was out the entire year.
And they've been doing this to Jaylen Brown for a while, too.
Yeah, they have.
Exactly. So, with Trey, it's more so like we talked about yesterday. As talented of a player as he is, we know how much he's worked on his game. We all have a bunch of great things to say about him, but we're not talking about somebody that has any accolades in the league. He not one single award, not even an All-Star game as of yet. So, I mean, look, like what do the Pelicans owe him at this point?
Hey, Chris, I'm willing to bet you any amount of money. I feel like how we always be like this guy, OKC guy.
Yeah.
Watch fucking Mara ends up in OKC.
And they let go of
and then just let Hartenstein walk, and it's a win-win. I mean, that's probably exactly what's about to happen.
Yep.
The rich stay rich.
Yep.
No, we're good. It's just, I mean, I think one of the interesting things about it though is when I don't think we overestimate Trey as far as like, he doesn't have any accolades, but
okay, so you picked Mara.
Yeah, we knew that was going to see. There you go.
There you go.
Takes Mara, and
in the stream.
It ain't even worried
for New Orleans.
You don't worry about the accolades. It's and Five made this point earlier. It's about how other people, the value to other people.
Yeah.
And the Pelicans' timing and judging value to other people has consistently been bad. Like, you missed out on the Herb window. You probably now have missed out on the best of the Trey window. If you don't make a deal soon, you've missed the best of, because now it just becomes more in other teams' favor every month. The Trey Murphy window becomes more in other teams' favor. So it's like you turn it into this thing where the Pelicans are now behind on everything. So now your whole offseason is still you have to find a center. Still you have to find another wing shooter. Still you have to fix your bench. And you've got to move all this other talent that doesn't fit with you already and you go through the draft and you don't get it done, if they go through the end of this night and it's not done, how much harder does it get to have a successful offseason for this team?
I think the OKC front office thinks everybody in the NBA is stupid. I really believe that they think they're the smartest group. You know what? I don't disagree. Like, how do you fucking luck up with how does it just fall in your lap? Like, how? How does it? I don't get. And they're a small market team, right? They don't make any mistakes, like none.
Oh,
Bro, they lost KD, Harden, and Russ, and still was able to get to a championship without any of them. And they're loaded.
After they did that, they made all the right moves. They got rid of Paul George when the time was right. They moved on from Chris Paul when the time, I think that's the biggest difference is that they cashed in at the right moment and held serve for a couple years, lost, and are now reaping the rewards of that.
What's the
a great
strategic
job,
lady? The strategic lady we hired? Anybody know off the top of their head? I forgot her name. My apologies.
That was
Black
weird.
woman.
That was
weird.
What if I? He looked
like
a little perturbed. I don't know why, but
Jared, Jared, Chris, where do you go from here if you're the Pelicans? See that? Where do you pivot? What are they waiting on? If you're going to do all this shit, what are you waiting on?
Because now you're looking at the back end, you're looking at guys like Vasir. If you can get in the low 20s to get a Vasir now at center, right?
But that might be cheaper. I mean, that ultimately might be cheaper if you move her. Okay, I don't believe right now that between now and say the trade deadline, you're losing much on trade's value. If they wanted multiple picks and they did not get that offer, then I mean, what exactly would you have moved them for? Like, I genuinely believe that I think Atlanta was where they wanted to go with this, and Atlanta just possibly just didn't want to do it. So where you go from here, I think maybe you pivot to a Misi or Herb trade to get into the 20s, late teens.
But Chris, are you? I don't. You know, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm asking. You don't think that if they wanted multiple picks for trade, and we'll have to see what the offers were today. Yeah. But do you guys think it's gonna be that big of a difference? Let's say the team's really bad going into the trade deadline. You think it's gonna be a big difference between now and then? We always say it's better to trade these guys before the deadline than it is in the offseason, right?
But so, Chris, this is the same team. This is the same team that made 5 guys untouchable at the trade deadline last year, and they had 16 wins. Like you believe they're going to make the right move at the trade deadline?
Are you mad that Joe Dumars was patient for once?
Am I mad that he's patient with it?
Are we?
For once.
I'm mad, patience?
But I'm mad that there's no direction. That's what I'm mad at. I'm mad there's no direction. Because patience, I mean, what are we being patient on? We had this conversation last night.
I don't think this is the worst thing. To be fair, I think I didn't want the 12th pick for Trey Murphy. So this isn't a big deal for me. I sort of didn't think anything would happen in the first place, but I think had all these reports not come out in the last 24 hours about, Trey Murphy this, Trey Murphy that, I think we'd all be sitting here saying,
Okay, well, let's look at it from that perspective then. Let's look at it this way. It may not be a disaster for the roster, right? Is it an embarrassment for Joe Dumars in the sense that, no, he didn't get played in the deal, but he's publicly out there. You're moving these. You want to make deals. You want to get into it. You come away with nothing. If you were trying to make a deal and you didn't get anything because you couldn't make the deal, is that different than just not making the deal? I'm just asking.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I think GMs are always going to be able to fall back on we just didn't get the offer we wanted. I mean, and it's kind of like the ultimate safety net to say that.
They're still
I don't know how motivated they were to
there's still really 17, 18 picks left. Like action can still happen.
And if they move off it just, again, I go back to this thing. It's like, for me now, Trey Murphy is off the table unless it's like
a great deal,
one of these picks and 2 or 3 more, like some crazy deal. Now, if you want to talk about Herb Jones or some kind of other package, you know, hey, I'm here for that. But
I think you're right, though. Ultimately, is you don't want to make a bad deal. You are not in a position where you're forced to make a Trey Murphy deal. No. So you don't want to take a bad deal and just to make one. So I'm okay as long as I think the big thing that you want to come out of this is with direction.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't make a trade, do we know what the direction is?
But like, I just, and that's the thing. I just go into this offseason and I'm worried because you ain't getting no free agents.
What they're going to tell you is that Derek Queen was their draft pick this year. That's what you're going to hear. That's going to be the buzz thought. Like, we made our draft pick for this year last year. So would you rather have Derek Queen or would you rather have the 14th? That's what they're going to say.
So, Five, let me ask you this, and Chris. The bigger moves, I think, the things you really wanted to see was them to offload the bad deals.
Right.
Because you didn't make a draft night deal, do the Pelicans still have an avenue to get rid of the bad contracts? Because, Hawkins nobody wants. Poole nobody wants. There may be takers for Murray, but those are your 3 worst deals that you've got to deal with. You come out of this draft and let's say you don't make any moves. How do you get rid of those bad contracts going forward?
So, my bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Five.
I think it just starts with 1, right? Like, I know we look at it, we see 3 bad contracts. You got to just move 1. You got to start there. The last thing I want to do is start, trying to move our good things because we need to get off Jordan Poole. We need to get off Jordan Hawkins. But if a team wants DeJounte Murray, you need an avenue to get there. Are we still looking at I know the report came out that today about, them being out of the Ja Morant sweepstakes. Like, does that rekindle anything? Was that for real? Was that them saying like, oh, we don't want any parts of Ja Morant right now because the draft is happening. But now that you don't get anything out of this draft, do you say to yourself, okay, well, that still may be a possibility for us just so we can consolidate that money and rather than just move off of those 2 players?
Chris, would you sit on the Poole contract knowing it's an expiring, but also that you can't really play him? Like, I mean, you've set it up to where it's really hard to put him back on the court. But if he becomes this, like, if you can't find that deal, do you just take him as the expiring and say, we'll just get that money off the books at the very least? Have we lost Chris? So, Five, you want to answer that one too?
Oh, God damn. Let's see, Poole. I don't know, man.
I'm all fucked up now.
Yeah, man. Chris, are you there or no?
Yeah, but
Chris
shout out John Deere.
Chris probably like Batman.
I don't know. I think you do need to figure something out with Poole. If there's an option out there, I think about Milwaukee. I think about teams like that where they're not trying to win now. They need to get off players and maybe, Jordan Poole's been in a situation like in Washington where the team was going to lose anyway. So he's familiar with that kind of situation. Maybe they would want to move off something and we take on whatever contract or loose end they may have. So I don't know. I'm just trying to look around the league and see where everybody's position is. I don't know if there really is a buyer for Jordan Poole at this point.
If y'all are big X guys, Derek Queen just posted a picture of Troy Weaver and just did a smiley face emoji. He's just such a troll now on Twitter. I love it. But the trade's complete with Derek Queen. So I'm gonna be pissed if they don't make a move tonight. I really am.
Why, Justin?
Why?
Yeah,
because it's the same shit over and over again, Jared.
No,
that's why. No. The Derek Queen thing, at least, like, whether you like it, like, at least it was fun and entertaining. I don't want to stand pat, bro. Like,
all people want is your picks. That's what we keep. It's like, and I think that's probably what holds up a lot of these things that we keep talking about. Is that what people really want from you is your pick because you're always bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think maybe now maybe Joe got a little.
There goes a mint to the Heat.
I gotta get some.
They try to be the longest.
I gotta
team
get
in the
some super chats up. Sorry. Hold on, bro. We'll see his Pelicans trade tonight from Michael Morgan, I believe that is. I don't want to mess up a name.
Yeah, Michael Morgan.
Michael Morgan.
Anola E504, Trey Murphy and Poole for Jalen Brown and Murray, and Hawkins for Morant. I'm tired of us being a G League farm team for other teams. Bring them in. See, Jared?
But hold on. Well, what about that though? What if
Jalen Brown?
What if that's one of the pivots, right? I mean, I don't know if that's ultimately the best scenario, but if the Pelicans were taking this step by step and say, all right, we're starting with the draft. We're gonna see if we can get over on a team to get some players, to get some prospects that we're interested in. And Ross nailed it. They didn't work out anybody. So it's unsure how serious they even were in the beginning.
Chris.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trades Troy Weaver's made in the past year for the Pelicans? Have you seen the trades? Do you believe that? Have you seen them? Because I've seen them.
I'm playing.
I know what you're doing. You're being professional. You're really good at it.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know that the trades that he has made have been horrific. His talent evaluation is actually really good in the draft. I think over the last 5 years, he's been absolutely incredible. And I think we talked about this, Jarrett, the other day. The Jaden Ivey thing was just unfortunate, but that was still a good pick too. Troy Weaver, I want Troy Weaver to make a pick in the first round. I think he's a great talent evaluator. But if we're going into the offseason banking on him making trades, I'm worried. I
think it's okay. The issue in if you trade for Brown and Morant, you end up with 2 players instead of 4, both for a combined total of over $100 million, and you're still a weirdly built team because you're still not a rebounding team, right? You're still not a shooting team, and you're still on 2 timetables,
and you have to, besides Jalen Brown, John Morant does not fit Jamal Mosley's coaching style.
No, Ja is not going to be here for this militaristic approach.
I think Ja's will suit up for Memphis next year.
I think so too.
I don't think you got a choice. He getting traded to Milwaukee.
Who, Ja?
No, this was part of that deal.
Oh, he's going to Milwaukee. Okay.
I'm sorry.
So May goes to Milwaukee. Yeah, he's the replacement for Bobby Portis, basically. Then he becomes Bobby.
Chris, can you read it? It's kind of far from me. Y'all, Jared or Chris, y'all can read it.
Rashawn 310. Shout out for $5, bro. Appreciate that. Memphis and Boston for Morant and Jalen Brown would be the moves to pack the SKC. Yeah, for sure. But there's only one basketball. I think we're not thinking about the usage rate both of these players play with. I don't think that'd be a brand of basketball that would be conducive. Yeah, I'd show up. I'd watch this team play basketball, but by the All-Star break, I would be fed up, and so would that.
I mean, it's crazy usage numbers. You talk about 34% for Ja, 35 for Brown. You talk about Zion.
What was his usage rate you just said?
34 for Ja, and 35 for Brown.
Yeah.
Ja's got 34.
Yeah, and that's average. It's been higher, and then you talk about a Zion who they want to have his usage up to around 30%.
Well, we had talked about this, Grub. I remember you brought this up. It is actually astonishing when his usage rate was really high. He was hurt.
Yeah. But they just said they want it to be high again.
They did.
They said they want to have him. Remember, they said it, but they want to put him at the top of the offense again.
I love this team, Chris. This is
so it's what are we doing here? That's the thing. It's what kind of offensive philosophy are you building with this group too? Because Brown comes from a team that plays with a slow pace, that shoots threes. Ja comes from a team where he had the ball all the time, that played in your face, full court defense, and he got to run in transition a lot. Zion has played in none of that. Jamal Mosley is a coach who plays with slow pace and doesn't shoot threes. I still have no idea where anybody fits into a philosophy for this team. I don't know who is conducive to winning and who is not based on how they play together. This feels like dudes who just met at the park.
I know somebody that does fit. Thick Asian cheeks. Shout out for the $5. Now that we didn't get anyone significant in this draft, watch the Ja Morant rumors come back. They're gonna try and compete.
5. Can you explain the photo as well? Since they probably can't see that there.
That seems to be 2 sumo wrestlers.
Yep.
Yep.
Thick
You-
Asian cheeks.
Thick Asian.
Asian.
I'm sorry, I can't read this.
Thick Asian cheeks, man.
You gotta keep saying it. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's a super chat, bro.
Or else the Smoothie King Center will be empty. We need to compete.
Shout out to Rishon.
I think fans, I think people, if they play good basketball and you see where the product is going, I think people will be fine. Like, it's not that the Smoothie King Center is empty because the Pelicans, people don't want to be there. It's because they're frustrated with the product.
Does it suck?
You can, if you see where something is going, if you have 12 guys who are playing with purpose and you see that there's a development here and you're not wasting your emotional investment in something because it goes nowhere. It's not the names that make you feel the arena. It's how they play. It's the level of they're competing, their will to win every night. So I think it's not, if you have Ja Morant, and like Five said, if they're 20 games out by January, it don't matter if you got Ja Morant, Jaylen Brown, Michael Jordan. No one's coming if you are 20 games out.
Michael Jordan.
I'm just saying, it gets boring after a while.
I'm just so sick and tired of having a bad basketball team.
Me too.
Well, guess what, brother?
Yep.
When no one comes,
That's where I'm at.
Guess what's gonna happen?
What?
Justin,
What?
if they trade
have a
for
bad
Ja
basketball
Morant tomorrow, you are not gonna be saying this. You're gonna text and you're gonna say we're fucking back.
Chris, I'm with Jared. I'm gonna be in that bitch because I'm gonna go watch Ja and Zion for 10. Whether it be 10 games or not, I'm gonna have a couple beers. I'm gonna enjoy my time there. It's be entertaining as hell.
But this is what I was saying yesterday. When they come out and say,
yeah,
when multiple people, Fletcher and company, and then you saw some other national reports say the Pelicans are out on Ja. They're not interested in Ja. It's not a conversation.
I'll take one.
It feels like it was in their back pocket. Like we would like ideally the draft to go in this way for us. No,
keep going. It's okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. But if not,
like Batman.
Camera battery.
Yeah, but if not, we gonna spin the block calling Memphis or Boston, but more than likely Memphis to get the cheaper asset.
I mean, it makes sense though. Like, it's okay for Fletcher to tell a fib. They can't do it. So leak some information to get the dogs off the scent. Then Ja's value goes down, right? Because the season's going to start. They know Memphis does not want to enter the season with Ja Morant on their roster. The price of the brick continues to fall. If it's like we're doing two things. Either Joe's a madman, he's super smart, or Joe's a dumbass. And like that.
All right. Like which one is it?
Which one is it?
Is he an idiot savant or just an idiot?
Can you,
I
Chris?
really want him to be a madman genius. I really do.
Chris, can you remember the next two super chat? I think there's a blue super chat under this one, and then there's a member chat. If you could,
I got you. Hold on.
thank bro.
Leo
has said a word in like 15 minutes.
Why do we talk like we didn't lose 60 games?
What do you say?
Why are we talking like we didn't lose 60 games?
No, I'm talking like we've lost 60 games. I'm talking like we've lost 120 games in the last 2 years. I'm talking like that. I'm sick and tired of watching it. And Ross is sick and tired of what you got, Ross? Oh, Ross.
Ross gotta get home.
Give Ross another phone.
Taking a trade call.
Another phone.
Yeah, give Ross another phone.
Ross trading Lito.
Give Ross another phone, man.
Another 30 minutes.
Lito hadn't said anything in 20 minutes. I'm about to... There's a cook in the back. I'm seeing if we can make sure.
Trading for a slice to be named later. And crust considerations.
What did you say, bro?
We got crust considerations.
What was the coach you named him? What was the
Coach Broom.
Coach Broom.
Coach Broom.
Shout out to Coach Broom.
Shout out to Coach Broom.
It was a good pick.
Pretty pick. I don't even know.
Damn, the Hornets got a good pick. Yeah.
Hold tight, Lito. I want to ask you this question. You did a ton of film reviews. What's a player out there, not necessarily for the Pelicans, but that's going to make any team more valuable than they were before they picked them up?
Like, what's a player out there that you watch and you was like, yeah, he can go anywhere?
Like to be drafted?
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about free?
That's left out there.
I was about to say this dude right here who just got drafted.
Hennistinsberg.
But man, it's a lot of like let's see what's what is dude name from Arkansas? Trayvon Brazil. I still like, I mean, we talking second round, like I'm not talking like first round talent, but like Baba Miller, your boy from Stanford, Corey, he got a lot of talent. Like a score from, you know, average 23 as a freshman. Still a lot of talent out there for people to even in the later rounds, right? Like it's a lot of guys where you can find some value in it, but
the Mexican dude that was supposed to people thought he was going to go high.
Kareem Lopez.
Yeah, he's still out there.
Falling. He was supposed to be. They had him anywhere from like the top 12. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't impressed with his game. Like I didn't like him like that.
What do you think about your boy from Newman?
Sinek, I think if you get him outside the top end of the lottery,
I'm glad you brought that up. I think that's the target. I think if Sinek is at a certain position here in the next 5 to 8 picks, they're a strike.
Now, if the price is Herb for Sinek, fine, like more than fine. If it's Herb, fine. But if it's Trey for Sinek, I don't like that.
The problem though is he needs time. Right,
that's all we got is time.
That's what I'm fine with time. If it's for her, you know what I'm saying?
That's the thing is like the Pelicans have time.
Yeah, you got 5 years.
In fact, they really need to kill another year. Like let Poole, like
Jared,
it's just whatever. Let Poole's deal
Jared,
fall
you've seen
off.
Sinek. You've seen Sinek from the bleachers at Isidore Newman School, but you've also seen him at Houston. What do you think of him?
I really like him. I thought he was super skilled, but I do agree with Lito. He needs time. But again, to Ross's point, the Pelicans have more time than they think they do. They believe that their timeline is fast. Like, no, brother, you in the slow lane, like the super slow lane. You might be on the short boards with the slow kids. Slow down. It's okay. But if you add Sinek to this team, you allow Derek Queen to really play the position that he needs to play. That way, Sinek can learn at the same pace, and hopefully you can bring in some guys that could teach him how to be a pro in that situation, right? Like I always thought like the. Go ahead.
No, my bad. Go ahead.
I thought like the 5 and the 1, like those two positions are like critical for young players to understand and grasp. If they don't grasp them early, it's really hard to teach them later on.
Yeah.
Like look at a case like Jackson Hayes, in my opinion, like super athletic, but there was no way for him to learn the position here in New Orleans. Like you need somebody to teach him how to be a center. And if they don't do that and they draft him, it'd be worthless, in my opinion.
Jared, my bad, Lito. Jared, I was going to ask you a follow up. Do you think he can develop a jumper?
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. Like,
because that's my biggest question.
He's got the form for it. His form is good.
I don't think he's far off from that. My bad, Five.
No, I don't think he's far off either.
He rebounded at a high clip for the minutes that he played. He's fluid. He's coachable, because if you play for Kelvin Sampson, you better be coachable. Like that, he's gonna hold you to an exacting standard, particularly on the defensive end. So he feels like a guy that's perfect for Jamal Mosley.
He actually went off. Like I thought he actually ascended around under Kelvin Sampson. There's a couple stories about Sampson, like even Sinek talking about when he got there, he wasn't who he was, and Sampson was like, "No, this is who you're going to be, or you're not going to play."
Houston does not compromise for players. Like,
I think that's a fair target. I don't know what you were going to say.
Yeah, I was saying I like him. I mean, I think if you get him 17 below, you know what I'm saying? Like,
damn,
because that's where he's supposed to be. But if you have to go up and overpay, then it's. But I mean, at this point, if it's as long as it's not trade for that pick, like you've gone beyond the trade limit of first rounders. You were in the Herb, whomever else, give them away. If that's what it takes to get him, then I'm fine with that. I'm not gonna quibble about anybody else you give up at this point to get him.
I was just gonna say he got a whole lot of Khalil Ware before he got drafted. To me, the whole lot of like face up type transition.
What do you like about his film?
Side. You asked me about his shooting. I think it's there. I think he just gotta just be consistent and keep doing it. But his form is right. Like he's shooting the basketball. Five, you know how we talk about how Trey being so tall, still shooting from the shoulder pocket. Like he's shooting. Sonata's shooting the ball. You know, damn.
Dalen Swain.
That's an early pick for him.
Yeah, that's
I
a
didn't see
reach,
Dalen
bro.
Swain going at 15. That is early.
That's a reach. But yeah, man, I really like him, and he gonna be a really good weak side defender. He's got to get strong enough to be, you know, full time. What you want to be full time?
I gotta stop the stream for a second. I just looked at our YouTube page and everything. Grub started off at 6:00. It's 8:47. Simple math. We've been streaming for 2 hours and 45 minutes. We got 167 likes.
That's it.
It's bullshit.
100.
In the
Jerry, and the show.
I don't like
Can
it.
y'all smash the like
I
button?
don't like that, man.
Just- can we
What's
smash
going
the
on? That's a
like button?
problem. That's a
Can we
problem.
Just hit the thumbs up. Then.
That's a problem. I don't like that, man.
That's how you doing it.
Yeah, they can't hit the like button.
You know what? I got it. Don't worry. Y'all smash the like button. Let's hear from Terminex real quick, and then after that, it should be up to like 250. If I
This
can
word
figure
from
out the
Terminex, the official pest
Yeah.
control of
Terminex,
Thor.
y'all smash the like button.
Terminex, the official pest control of the New Orleans Pelicans.
You chilling?
How do you like, Lito? How do you like? We had
How many?
216 likes.
216. That's embarrassing.
Last thing I
How many people? How many? My bad.
You've been going since 6:00.
How many people?
We had 225 now. We had 520.
We got 520 people. We got how many likes?
225.
Come on, bots. Y'all hit the damn like button.
Does that math to you?
The math is not mathing.
I want to. One of the things that we talked about in the first hour to show it earlier was just again the circumstances in the NBA and how that should affect the Pelicans' timeline. I mean, you look at the league, and I think they're the financial realities of the league. You see that the Knicks have already come up where Dolan said he's not going to go into the second apron. So, and there are a number of free agents for that
This is up
team.
right now again. No,
Yeah,
this
Yeah, and
No,
then
man.
and then you got that financial reality. You have teams like the Celtics who are going through their financial things. You have the potential expansion the certain expansion coming up, which will be a diluted talent in the West in particular, because both of those teams will be added to the West. Minnesota moves to the East. Yeah. If the Pelicans are patient, like that's the part that I think people need to remember, is if you're patient, the West is going to have a huge shift, because the only two teams that are at the top who aren't expensive and aren't getting older are really San Antonio and OKC. Everybody else, whether you talk about Minnesota, Denver, whomever, they're all getting to the point where they're either getting older or too expensive.
Okay,
those two are the only. I mean,
saying they're
OKC's
getting expensive, yeah.
but they still have so many picks and so many young players they can flip it. Like the Pelicans have a chance in 2 to 3 years to really, make a move.
I'm trying to take you seriously, Grub, but Lito's got this.
Yeah,
Lito looks insane.
I feel like the likes don't add up to me holding the mic.
This is Lito's protest, man. Let Lito protest. If we get a certain
You can hear me?
269 likes.
No, bro.
You get to 300?
It's got to be 300.
Got to be 3?
3 bills.
He needs 3 bills.
Yeah.
Is Chris on the show, or is he?
What's that?
Is Chris boycotted the show, or is he?
Yeah, Chris should. They didn't get the likes right.
They don't deserve Chris. They don't deserve Chris.
What did I say about me? I just been here for all this time. Everybody else dipped, and I'm the only one who had to talk the whole time. Me and Five just been talking.
It's the quietest I ever potted before. Taking a new approach.
We're into the part of the draft where I don't know any of the players anymore.
Yeah, I feel you.
Wait till you get to the second round when it's all drafted stores.
Let me tell you how stupid this is, right? So me and Chris doing draft shoes and like trying to anticipate how the Pelicans are going to draft. So we start doing late second round picks because that was realistic. Then they dropped this news about this top 10 shit, right? Which is a complete lie. like,
Hey Lito,
what's up, bro?
my bad, not to cut you off, but
No, you
I'm
good.
gonna have to. this just shows you how hard people work for this. Like, we're doing a show, one, about a team that doesn't have a first round pick. Secondly, you guys have been doing months of player evaluation
Shout out to
for
y'all.
a team that does not have a first round pick. Only you've been doing evaluations on the probability that they might trade back into the first round for a potential player. Like, we have no absolutes. You guys had no absolutes, but yet you still did the work. And that's why your protest matters, man. You should protest, you and Chris. Y'all been doing this work, and to not have at least 300 likes, that's damn near a slap in the face, dog.
I'm only holding this microphone for you because you my dog, son. Like, I really don't respect nobody who ain't hit the like button. We've been doing pods since like late April, as far as draft picks. Late April. You know what I'm saying? Like 3-4 of these podcasts a night trying to figure out who they could pick on the probability if they did make a move.
I don't mean to cut you off. There's a trade. It does not involve your team.
Of course.
Memphis is trading the number 16 pick. Bennett starts to OKC for 2 second-round picks, which is interesting because OKC has a 17 pick.
Yeah.
So what is OKC doing with the 17th pick here? They just traded for the 16th pick, but didn't give up the 17th pick. Bro, OKC is crazy. What are they doing?
OKC is actually playing chess.
How did they just trade?
Well, the Pelicans are playing trouble.
How did they just get the 16th pick without giving up the 17th pick? They got. All right, so OKC has Bennett Sturts. And they trade two.
Bennett Sturts is doing double platinum in
Jared,
OKC.
here's the best part, Jared.
Bennett Sturts is doing double platinum in OKC.
Jared, here's the best part. OKC gave up 2 second-round picks for pick number 16.
It's because they had it. Right? Because they had it, dog. Like, that's why we look at rich people and we be like, dang, bro, like, how can they just keep buying stuff? Because they got it, bro. They figured out the system and they work in the system. Like, they got it. Yeah. Is Bennett Sturts worth 2 second-round picks? Probably not. But the fact that I got it and I can spin it and it still won't hurt me, I'm going to do it anyway. And shout out to Memphis for just being in the right place at the right time as well. Like, oh, I'm going to pick somebody that you want. Cool. Now you're going to pay me for that. It just, I don't know if your camera's not.
Lost a picture.
5. This is the thing. Grub, fuck everybody. How in the world do you let them people get the how do you let them get Mara? Like, how do you let them draft?
That's the part I don't understand. At the very least, you should be trying to keep OKC from adding more size to their front court.
Right.
Like, if
And
they
more
keep
rookie
Hartenstein,
contracts.
they're wheeling out 21-footer center, and all of them are aggressive, and all of them are versatile enough offensively to be a problem.
They getting better. Like, this dude, my bad, 5.
No, my bad. I know who OKC is. It just hit me. They run around the NBA like it's Baltimore and they Omar. They got everybody spooked. No matter what you do, they are running your pockets. They walking around the NBA with a shotgun and a trench coat and just asking for the drugs. They're not even saying nothing. Like, you know what it is. Just give it up.
OKC coming.
So Jake Fisher just
OKC.
Jake Fisher just confirmed the Thunder and Grizzlies are swapping picks.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay, even if that's the price for them. Yeah.
So now Memphis has the 17 pick.
Right. Memphis just knew exactly. Memphis knew what OKC wanted. OKC was like, okay, I'll give you 2 second rounders and we'll swap picks.
And OKC has to get rid of like some type of picks. The Pelicans ain't gonna do shit.
OKC paying for stuff with the change in their pockets. Like, they going through and grabbing stuff out the sofa because they like, we got 2 picks in the sofa. Give me the 2. Going in the junk drawer.
Fuck out the ball.
They going in the junk drawer and just grabbing stuff out the junk drawer and be like, hey, we got these 2 picks. Y'all want these picks? And just adding first rounders. Like, you think they added a shooter and they added a 7'4" center
Yeah.
Like that's what OKC added.
Yeah.
Like, and all they've gotten rid of, all they had to get rid of was Aaron Wiggins.
On top
That's
of
it.
On top of the fact that what's Topic? What's the draft?
Topic,
He ain't
even played yet. Topic ain't even played, and people still high on Topic.
That's what I'm saying,
They still
man.
think he could be a shooter, and he can't even get off the bench in OKC, and they just drafted another shooter. Come on, man.
Masterclass.
I can hardly see the comments, but I keep seeing the Ryan Bowen keeps mentioning Hunter Dickinson, and it's pissing me off even more. We got Hunter Dickinson on our team.
Shout out to G
He
League
said,
All-Star
"Don't
Hunter
need Morrow
Dickinson.
because we got Hunter Dickinson."
Is that what he
Man,
said?
man, we don't need Morrow because we got Hunter Dickinson.
Honestly, that's why I struggle, man. I struggle to join these things this last month or two because I've been seeing it more and more in the offseason. More and more of this. We got something. Just stay the course. We got something. We got this. We don't have anything.
Ross, we debated. We
don't have anything.
2 weekends ago, we debated if Carlo Makovich was a starting center.
That's what I'm saying. Like that to me is one of those things. I'm glad I didn't see that. I'm really glad I didn't see that because it's just one of those things that would make it's so discouraging to me the next day. It's like after you go get hammered drunk when you're like in your 30s or whatever. It's like, man, this seems like a good idea, and then you wake up the next morning, you feel real bad about it. Your body feels bad.
Yeah.
That's how I would have felt after having that conversation with y'all. I'd have woke up the next morning and been like, we shouldn't have done that. That wasn't a good idea. It's just, it's nothing against him. It's nothing. It's not about Carlo.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
Wait, what's the apartment that you have for Carlo?
Is he out there in Birmingham?
Yeah.
I forget the name of it.
Yeah.
I wonder if he still goes back and
Now they can live right in Kenner.
That's
Trey
right.
Everybody can move to
That's
Kenner,
right.
baby.
Kenner, bro.
Champion.
Kinder, bro.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Trey Jefferson was on the
Yeah, Trey Jemison is a champion.
Good for him.
He just bought a house too, I think. I think
Was
he
he
just bought a house.
he was on the team or he was like bus security?
No, he was on the team. He was there. Trey was in the parade.
Good for him.
But see, that's the thing too is when people talk about the Pelicans being a farm team, the Wizards can say the same thing. They've had plenty of players end up on champions recently.
I hate that.
Minnesota can say the same. Everybody can say it. It's not because there's this gap in talent. It's still the stars of the stars. There's plenty of players. It's team assembly. That's the thing we've talked about. It's not talent identification. It's team assembly, and those are two very different skills. And like you said, I am fine with Joe Dumars or Troy Weaver identifying talent. But where the skepticism comes in is what they pay for the said talent and how they put that talent together as a single team.
Speaking of putting talent together, you ought to see the work Justin's doing to this Hawaii 5-0 over here. I mean,
I hope that pizza game.
When you talk about good trades, talent acquisition, I mean, it's a first class pizza they put together for us. Shout out to THEO'S for letting us do this. This has been great.
He got his beer. He calmed down. He got his pizza now.
The audio was pissing me off.
It really was, Justin. We can tell. We can tell you was not happy. Like that. That wasn't a secret.
There's a lot of shit.
It wasn't a secret. Oh.
Hey, Lala, have we picked a winner on the chat for the $50? Who won?
Yeah, we announced it. We said it.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, at some point we did say it.
I got it, bro.
Shout out to the winner.
You've been missing stuff.
So we got OKC on the clock. Is OKC still on the clock?
OKC is still on the clock.
But it's a good time to shout out. First off, Grub. Shout out to Grub for the first 45 minutes tonight carrying the show. Man. Shout out to Lito, Chris, obviously doing film breakdowns, everything done. Man, that was awesome. And shout out to Ross for showing up to work tonight. It's been about a couple months. So Rose's
That's what I do, baby.
Shout out to Theo.
When the lights are bright. When the lights are bright. They keep showing someone named Carr from Baylor.
Carr's good. He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
He's somebody that would be a good fit with the Pelicans too. He's 6'5",
Athletic,
really athletic, can shoot the three.
I bet OKC.
I bet OKC.
OKC probably scared him. Now that's a surprise.
Hold on a second.
Memphis.
That is a big surprise.
That's Memphis.
Oh, that's Memphis' pick. That's right.
He's
That's
going
right. He's going
You
over
know,
Memphis.
that's the dumbest thing the NBA does. Besides starting late, like when tip-offs at 7, they tip off at 7:12. The fact that they can't in real time make the real trade? Like who's picking?
Yeah, that's
We
stupid.
just, one of the folks here just had a bold prediction that this is the steal of the draft.
Ivory?
This gentleman here.
He cold.
Hey,
He cold.
look, I would take that word and
Y'all
we
should-
would pay attention because Ivory be hitting.
He cold.
Y'all should allow
Hey,
people
we was-
to come on the pod.
He just said it. He said
Who?
steal of the draft.
We tried to get him on. He won't come on.
Ivory?
Yeah, he don't want pod.
Ivory don't want to be seen.
Come on.
Yes.
Ladies and
Yeah, I would take
gentlemen,
my
we
spot.
welcome to the stage the one and only Ivory
New
Clark.
assistant coach at
and the
Newman, too,
Carr
by the way.
alumni.
Yeah, new assistant coach at
New
Newman.
assistant head coach at Newman.
Isidore Newman.
Everybody wants the Edna Carr influence. They want the
Shout out
taste,
to my alma
the
mater.
championship pedigree.
You already know. Cougar Pride.
That's right.
What's up, man?
All
What's
those
up?
minutes you paid for us in the purple and gold, Leo. So many minutes. I'm gonna look up your numbers when we get back to the West Bank.
Yeah. Don't tell him. Don't tell him. we
What's
we
up,
was
man?
really we had a conversation about Ibuka Corey
Yes, sir.
via text. We supposed to do a show. You got busy because you're dealing with kids right now. I understand. Tell us what you think about him.
Man, I think he's a prime Trey Young type player. Really shifty, man. Can generate a lot of paint touches. Can shoot it from deep. Can absolutely break defenses down. Man, I think they got a steal right here at this pick. He's going to Memphis, right?
Yeah.
Man, I think he's a great replacement for Ja Morant. Should they move on from him? Man, the Memphis Grizzlies are quietly building something really special.
Yeah.
Cedric Coward, Cam Boozer, Zach Edey if he's healthy.
Edey be healthy.
They're putting it together a real well-rounded team right now, man. They're going to be real formidable real soon.
The second iteration of it. They're doing it again.
Yeah.
Ivory, this is one of the things that I've got to talk about. I would love to get your perspective on this. Teams, like you see what Memphis did, basically. They have gone 7 years with Ja.
Yep.
And I'm a firm believer that teams now, the earlier you get into that second cycle with your franchise player, that second contract cycle, when you get to year 5, and you see it now with Trey Young, you see it with you start getting to year 5 and 6. If you haven't won anything significant, teams are hitting the reset button.
Yeah.
Because financially in the league, that third contract is going to be $60-70 million where we are now.
Yeah.
The Pelicans are in that situation with Zion Williamson, where you are approaching his third contract, where he's going to be talking about some $60 million. I don't believe for a second that he's going to ask and say, I'm going to give you all a hometown discount.
Right.
Why would he do that? He's going to maximize his money. Do you think at this stage, for the Pelicans, who have been through 7 years of this, went through 7 years of Anthony Davis and flipped it, 7 years of Chris Paul and flipped it, you are in the cycle where really you should be turning the franchise over to the next generation?
Yeah, man. I think now more than ever, in the NBA, championship windows close quicker than ever, but also they open for other teams quicker than ever too. I think we saw that this year with the San Antonio Spurs. Nobody really expected them to be in the finals this soon into Wemby's career with that rookie class with Harper and Castle. So I think if you build it the right way, you can contend sooner than later.
Yeah, I think there's, the financial, like you said, the financial implications. You can't hold a great team together.
Yeah.
So when you look at the Pelicans, who do have some good youth in Fears and Queen, I know you have your own opinions of Queen, but you have a player in that regard that you can do something with. But you look at it, you gave your coach a 5-year contract.
Yeah.
Would you think that it's more prudent to build the Jamal Mosley team over the next 5 years when you look at the West and see those changing things with other teams? Or do you go all in with what you've got?
Yeah, man. I think right now with OKC being as dominant as they are, with the Spurs looking like they're the next Death Star forming, I think it would have been a great time to reset. I think there's going to be some teams that are like a little ahead of the Pelicans. I think the Utah Jazz can make a massive leap next year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I think it would have been a great time for the Pelicans just to reset and, push that timeline a little bit back further to really contend, because I think next year, man, it's going to be a gauntlet with some teams, maybe even Portland, that makes a massive leap also. I just don't think the Pelicans are on that tier of teams.
Hold on 1 second. Evan Sidri said the Pistons selected Ibuka Corey. I didn't hear. He said Detroit traded 3 seconds.
That's not what they said on there.
Right.
It said, but I don't know. That ain't our business. They ain't got it.
If that is the case, that's an excellent fit there because the Pistons
Detroit,
need
that's a great pick
a
for
scorer next to Cade.
Yeah.
That would be amazing to kind of alleviate some of their offensive duties.
He was the only
Maybe
person
they
who
want to
could
let
create.
Cade have some more opportunities off ball.
For sure.
And give him those chances to do a little bit of that. Because especially when they saw success with having some other guys at that position, they still need some wing help.
Yeah.
They still need a 3 in Detroit really badly.
They had nobody else to create.
Nah, and that killed them in the playoff.
I do have a
Fine,
question.
we talk about. Go ahead.
No, I had a question for you. Ivory, I've heard wonderful things about you. If you're good with Lito, you're good with me. You coach high school basketball, and I really want to talk about that because I think that's important. What did you learn about your team during summer league this year?
Man, I learned that, man, we have a great group of kids, man, that really focus on learning the game the right way. Obviously, at Newman, we're young. The core of our team is they're 10th graders, but they're eager to learn, man. And we're going through our growing pains, but it's a great group of kids to work with. They're high IQ, have great attitude, and they show up every day, man. And I'm ecstatic to work with them.
You slowed down halfway through. I was watching your hand. I'm messing with Lala, but yeah.
Okay.
One of the things.
My bad.
I was just saying, off this, the Pelicans are in this weird situation where when you talk about the best young teams, you're already talking about Utah or Portland. San Antonio is still in the young team group, right? The Pelicans are neither a good experienced team or an up and coming young team.
Wow.
And that to me is like
That's a great
there's
pick.
they are still in that nebulous middle.
Middle.
That's a great pick.
I guess the middle is the death point of the NBA, right? Like,
yeah,
when you're in the middle part.
Yeah.
But this is they're like the lower middle class. If
Yes.
that makes sense.
That's
Right?
true.
You're
Yeah,
not
the
even-
Pelicans have full-time work, but they have their name on their shirt. Like they, there is a name tag involved somewhere for the Pelicans. They are not.
It's like working a full-time job plus overtime, but yet you still can't pay your bills. That's what it feels like. At least people that are like broke, they know that they broke and they still go out and have a good time. You're trying to be good and you can't. That's where I feel like the Pelicans are.
There ain't never been a reset.
Is this to us? He can't be. Rashawn, you talking about we hate the Pelicans?
There ain't never been a reset.
Like with us who are posted at THEO'S watching the draft
for 4 hours
with a pick we don't have?
I've been here since 5:15. Lala been here since 5.
Us? We hate the Pelicans?
We hate the Pelicans. I mean, we ain't been working all day for nothing,
man. Hard, tough crowd.
Tough. You give the people, you give your time, your effort,
God.
your research. Glued to a computer screen, looking up obscure European second round players.
Dog, like
hold up. Ivory, real quick. I heard you have some ideas about Dairy Queen. What are they?
Now we potting.
All right.
Now we no. Act like it's my text. Act like you texting me.
Yeah. my views are very contrary and controversial when it comes to that player. So I like to keep things copacetic right now.
Okay. I got you.
We did have a conversation a little bit about Queen before the show started, and I want to get now, I'm not gonna say who said it, but I'm gonna just say, watching the videos of Derek Queen's physical workouts, there's a little concern. The feet still look heavy. The effort still looks mixed. Do you think he gets it?
I think probably working with Jamal Mosley, he will soon, right? Like, it's one thing for a coach to get out there and do some drills with you. To do it in 95-degree heat and 100% humidity is another thing, right? Like, I think he'll have some growing pains. Though. Like, look at what he walked into, bro. He's had 2 coaches or 3 coaches already, right? Like, this isn't just all Derek Queen not understanding the magnitude of his front office trading 2 first-round picks for him, right? Like, that's not his fault. But it is his responsibility to understand it. It's going to have someone tell him and show him what that responsibility is. And he only can do that by his play and his effort on the court. Now, is he prepared for next season right now? Probably not.
I can only judge him about his play on the court next season. Game 1, I can judge him. Not right now during the summer about some video that was 10 seconds long. I can't do it.
Yeah, because I mean, ultimately, then we kind of giving him we've seen the Zion videos, and I don't think we want to get carried away with seeing Zion run up some hills either and think, well, this is a different Zion because he's running up hills now.
No. Zion, he does not get the benefit of the doubt that Zion got, nor does he get the blame that Zion got as well.
Tell this dude Bobby something, because he keep posting this damn thing about the Smoothie King Center NHL team. Please tell Bobby something.
I got it. Don't worry about
getting on
it.
my nerves. Bobby has posted 9 times about New Orleans getting
fuck you, Bob.
the NHL team because the Smoothie King Center is getting developed. He's in all caps posting about the damn NHL ain't coming to New Orleans. All right, no, that's not happening.
I go to the game.
I would go. I love hockey, but they ain't coming to New Orleans.
Bob, I will say this about that. I was kind of disappointed that it seemed like Moses was outworking him in that video.
What do you expect?
I mean, how old is Jamal Moses?
50-ish.
50-ish. Yeah.
I don't expect that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Bro, you don't know how many times Buddy done did it. You don't know the context. Mosley could have been out there for the last
rep supposed to look like the first rep.
I don't think that's supposed to matter.
Hey, if
last rep got to go hard like the first.
If he looked like
Yeah.
Wait, you got a bucket hat?
My dog. My dog. Why you hating? Be cool.
I'm gonna shoot him some bail. What is that? A bucket hat?
Yeah.
He got his bucket. He got his bucket.
What did it say on there?
Man, that's a deal, man.
Oh man, bro.
Yeah. And I got some socks. I got some piece of socks.
Wait, Lito, we gotta get Jared a hat. Where's Jared one?
Jared gets the hat. Yeah.
Which one?
Jared's on the screen.
No, what hat?
What does he want?
What,
Bucket hat?
do you want a bucket hat?
Bucket
Do
hat.
you want a bandana? Do you want a t-shirt?
What do you want?
Bucket hat, bandana, socks.
What Bree say? Queen has abnormal.
What is that?
What is abnormal?
Yeah, we got rap.
Abnormal. There's 2 ends on there too. What is abnormal? What's the abnormal? What's that?
Good, bro.
Bro, let him go, bro.
All right, bet.
If something breaks,
Justice said we got to wrap.
Man.
Justice said it's over. It's over. It's over. Y'all done had enough. If something happens, if the Pelicans do something, somebody will say something.
All right, y'all.
Shout out to Lala, man.
Shout
Shout out to Lala.
Shout out to THEO'S.
Shout out to
group chat.
If anything breaks,
If anything happens,
that's a good pick right there, baby.
Alan Graves going to Toronto.
Oh, that's a good pick.
I'm not sure about that.
Shout out to Tench Mahoa. Well, you don't like Allen?
I like the player. I don't like him for the Toronto.
Okay.
All right, we out.
Shout out to
Ham in America.
Shout out to Tench Paris, man.
Thank you, Chad.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank you, Chad.
everybody.
Appreciate
Appreciate everybody.
Appreciate y'all
Shout out
pulling up, man.
THEO'S.
Thank you for you know what I'm saying, being here. We don't have a pick. Y'all still pulled up. Nothing's going on throughout the team. Throughout the summer, y'all still pulled up. But we'll see y'all Sunday.
I'll be back on Thursday.
And shout out to my dog IC. Shout out to Newman, man.
Yeah, of course, NIL season is one of our favorite times around the office, but let's just say it's taken the NIL athletes a little time to get adjusted to the law firm environment.
Yeah, we handled that case. Yeah, we got it. It's good. Yeah, I'm listening. I'm too good. Yeah, well, I'm listening.
Hey, what's up, little Scott? It's David.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Leave a 5-star rating and write a review. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.